magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Sunday night? It's a Transformers Slag Podcast Sunday night live stream main event. I'm your host, Protoman. I'm the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday. It is Sunday. And I'm joined today for the year-end review with the legend himself, the man of power, the tower of hour. JawzD is here.
How you doing, everybody?
So,
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Too long.
tried to get Aaron Archer too, but he is not set up yet in Rhode Island. So we would have had our Triforce, but I guess it'll just have to be us two dumbasses for tonight. So we're going to cover the remnants of the news of this week. Talk about some stuff that both me and you got. This is going to be part 2 of the P.O. box for me. I think it's going to be a 3-parter because there's just too much that was in there. And then we'll just take some super chats and just talk with the fans and just do a year-end review of everything that happened with Transformers, the con scene, the toy scene, and what we're looking forward to next year, pretty much, with everything going on. But first, let's take a look who's in the chat today. So we got, let me just pull this up. Everyone's moving so quickly.
Yeah.
We have Dylan. What's up, Ninjatron? Rudy Mack. We have Patrick Brown. We got Cringe McCringle. We have Fonhart, who's going to be related to the P.O. box that we're going to be opening today. We got, who else do we have? I don't want to miss nobody here. Link CW is going to be going through spinal surgery. Good luck with that, Link CW.
Good luck.
All the best, my man. Where are we at here? Chavez. How you doing? T-Formers 2002. What's up? Will Murphy. Bigum. What's up? Big Bot Bodega. How you doing? Everyone's slowly still coming in. Princeton Phalanx 59. How you doing, my man? Everyone's slowly coming in because now it's 8 sharp. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people weren't expecting it. Again, I apologize. Yesterday, we were going to do a live stream, but then I was like, man, we already have the big 45-minute segment with JawzD with the top 5. Maybe I'll just post that today, and then tomorrow we'll do like a nice year-end thing, and then we could all just chill and relax afterwards. So I hope everyone's satisfied with that. But so let's get into the news. We'll cover
before the news.
Go ahead.
I want to do a quick shout out to
Go ahead.
to Chris and David, our 2 twins out there. And it turns out I was correct with who picked what. So Chris is the one that picked, I think it was Megatron
For his top Transformer of the year.
5, and then David was the one that picked the Rat Trap, so repping the Maximals and everything like that. So I just want to give a.
I don't think they're in the chat yet.
But I just
yeah.
at the top, I just want to give them their props and say hi to them and everything like that. They always show us love and everything. So I just wanted to get that out before we get swamped by everything else that's going to happen right now.
So thanks to them too, patrons and YouTube members, them double dippers. Thank you for all the love and support, of course. So we'll get into the news and we'll cover some new things here and there, and then we'll just open it up to show and tell, so to speak, super chats and everything like that. So the first thing we're going to be covering is this one. I swear this was so heated, this one. So China's Hasbro division is going to be releasing a box set for Devastator, the Studio Series 86 Devastator. And it's going to be a really fancy one. It's going to come with a bunch of extra stuff. It's going to come with keychains, a pin, a backpack, a repro label sheet. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is we don't know a price yet, but China has done this in the past where they gave box set kind of equivalencies of our combiners. And the last time they did something like that, especially with Devastator, it was near $50 cheaper than what would have been retail if you bought it here in the West.
Whoa.
And yeah, and it came with more. So Like the last time they did that, they did a Devastator box set. You got the complete Devastator for $50 less than if you would have bought it here, and it came with a Devastator themed rolling suitcase to come with it. Like no joke. And so, and people are just like, "What the hell?" So I
That
mean,
that sounds like someone had a cousin. Like, hey, can you hook it up with this? Like, you
yeah.
you got you got the you got the bag factor, you got the luggage factor. Can you come on, man, hook it up, hook
And the twins just showed up and they said, "Merry Christmas to you too,"
up.
with the
Merry
super
Christmas,
chat. Thank
guys.
you for the super chat, twins.
I
Merry
gave you
Christmas to
guys
you.
a shout out at the beginning, so I'm sorry
Yeah,
if you missed if you just got in. Sorry
they'll,
about that.
they'll you'll see it in the replay. It'll
Yeah.
um but yeah, so now we have a new one here, and it's going to come in a box set that looks like the original G1 Devastator gift set from
Oh wow.
1985. It's going to come with some like keychains that are acrylic figurines, 7 of them. It's going to come with a metallic pin. It's going to come with a sticker sheet. It's going to come with a Devastator themed backpack, like all this stuff. And I just have this feeling if this thing ends up being like less than $250 for all of this, man, what's going on? Like and you can't even
Yeah.
say, oh, because it's made in the same factory. No, it isn't. Everything's made in Vietnam, not China. Like what's like? I don't know. I don't know. It's just
But don't aren't the people that own those factories in China? I mean, in Vietnam, they're the Chinese. They're just
no,
moving it
no.
over.
They're
Not even.
no, no. It's their own. It's a completely different plastic company.
Oh, okay.
The old. I mean, I don't want to get too much into the weeds of it, but the old company that Hasbro used for years, pre 2015. Oh, we got another super chat. Says JawzD's mic is kind of low.
Ah, man.
Yeah,
Hold
maybe
on, hold
bring
on.
the mic closer. Bring it closer.
Trying to bring it closer. How about this?
There you go.
The dulcet tones of
Yeah,
JawzD. Quiet storm.
yeah. That was
Any better?
thank you, Rodimus Supreme. That's always been something we've been trying to fix.
Yeah, it could be
Thank
the
you.
gain setting right here on the back. But I don't want to mess around with
Yeah,
it right
we'll
now.
do some tests off the air later and
Yeah.
try to get it perfect. I actually talked about JawzD about it not too long ago because he does another podcast also. What's the name of it?
It is Geek
Geek
Cypher,
Geektastic Cypher.
Geektastic Cypher, but you can find it at GeekCypha.com.
And when I was doing some editing, I was like, "Why is JawzD's mic so low?" And then I went to go check the other podcast. I was like, "Oh, I think it's a common thing." So,
Yeah, because
so
in my headphones it sounds
oh yeah,
fine,
well
but
even when I talk with you in real time, it sounds great.
right
It's weird. It's just I guess I don't know. It's just
when it
how it
gets to
is.
that when it
We're
gets to that
professionals
volume.
here. Marcelo Materi is here. What's up, Marcelo? What's up?
Marcelo.
What's up, Marcelo? How you doing, my man? For people that don't know in the chat, Marcelo is the official box artist of all your Transformer product. Actually, what we're probably looking at here. Oh no, this is all Mark Watt art, I think, but it's all G1 stuff. But what's up, Marcelo? Thank you for the Christmas wishes, Marcella. So again, this is something that Hasbro China put together, and I don't know. It's like they've done this a few times now, and they're just really good deals. So, and it's something that I understand. Like, oh, this sucks for us as Westerners that we can't get an offer, but there is opportunities. There is certain websites that do carry this stuff. I know there's been a lot of blockies China exclusive stuff, and I've always been like, oh man, how am I going to get that? And then like 10 websites get copies of it, so it's like you know, I'll give a shout out to Robot Kingdom. They're probably like they're not sponsored. I'm just saying that now. They usually get like a lot of the China exclusive stuff. I know that like JawzD, like when you got MP10 Masterpiece Optimus Prime, that came
Mhm.
from Robot Kingdom, and
Yep.
that was like the Chinese. I'll use air quotes here, Chinese exclusive.
Mhm.
So like they're a good website for that. I don't know about now with the tariffs and stuff. That's a whole
Yeah.
other different animal, but
Mhm.
they are a good place to go. I don't know with the current situation though, but that's a whole other.
I think
That's
on most websites they'll actually kind of give you a heads up and tell you like, hey, this might be the extra cost of buying from us, because of whatever's going on. They usually try to give people a heads up so you're not sticker shocked by the time you get to the checkout.
Marcelo
Most websites
says.
have done
Marcelo says the Devastator art might be outlines from Pat Lee. Dot dot dot.
that. Oh no! Oh
Oh
no!
no, poor Pat. You know what? Real talk. Hold on, real talk for a second. I'm going to take. I'll say this about Pat Lee. Okay, I know he's a controversial figure, but every time I've dealt with him and talked to him in person, he's always been a very nice guy. I'm just going to say that right now. He's always been really good to me. It's just everyone else I talk to. It's always
But this is pre him,
one
escaping.
second. Yeah, that's true
I
too.
mean, when you dealt with him, he wasn't cutting you a check for something. You know what I
I
mean?
think that well,
It's a
I I,
very you're in a very different place than when you were back
I
then.
don't want to say who quoted this because I don't want to get them in trouble, but there was a certain individual that told me it's like Pat Lee is like a really cool dude. Like he'll give you the shirt off his back and everything, but don't lend him $5. I'm not gonna say who said that, but so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had personal experiences with Pat twice in my life, and both of them were always really cool. Like he was like, "Hey man, like your favorite character is Hot Rod, right?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he literally drew me Hot Rod right there, and like I have original art from him, and again, I was always nice to me, always nice to me. But again, everyone else I talk to, and you guys know who I've worked in the comic book industry with, they have other opinions um, that are like that motherfucker owes me money, you know. So either way, either way, either way.
I
Um,
can't blame those other people. To be very honest, it's a very different
well,
relationship.
yeah, exactly. I I I understand. I understand the situation.
Hmm.
Totally do. But I think actually that's Marcelo. That was partially actually also how you kind of also got employed too, because I remember Aaron told me that after uh, Dreamwave Productions, which is Pat Lee's company, after they were kind of being a little late with stuff, Aaron found you pretty much, and I think it was Aaron. He used Aaron. Aaron used you and Alex Milne to do alternator box art. Correct me if I'm wrong, Marcelo.
Mm,
I
I
know. I
think
know.
so.
I know. On Alex's side, it was alternator box art. He did jazz
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
gosh, who was the other one he did? He did jazz and someone else, maybe tracks too. I know it was the red
Mm,
packaging guys. So the later ones. But either way, we got a
mhm.
little sidetracked.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, so again, there's that Devastator one. Then we have some Transformer Wild King news. This is what's going to be 2026 product for Wave 6 and 7. So essentially it's redecos of what we got from Wild King up to this point. I love this line. When one of my only regrets last time I was in Japan is I didn't buy more of these because
Mhm.
they were like 700 yen each, which translates to
Ooh.
like almost $5. And these things, if they were sold here, they'd be $20 figures, you know? And I only bought like one, going, oh, I'll get the rest another time. And then this was at Don Quixote too. So it's like it could have,
I when I went to Japan, I didn't get to go to Don Quixote. I wanted to go and just to walk in and go Don
you know
Quixote.
what? You know what? You know what? In all honesty, it's it's a little overpriced everywhere else. Like the only
Mm,
cool thing with Don Quixote, in my opinion, is they have really cool displays.
mm.
Like their Star Wars section, which you wouldn't think Japan and Star Wars section, they just had like a sea of like stormtroopers, like action figures. So like
Nice.
they're pretty cool with their displays for everything. Like at the time they were celebrating Rama One Half's like anniversary or something for the remake, and they had this
Oh,
like
okay.
crazy display and stuff. So they're cool with that. But the prices, it's kind of hit or miss. Like at least with the Wild King stuff, it was pretty affordable. But I
But
mean,
just
there were
the
like
novelty of it, because I play a lot of the Yakuza series,
Yakuza,
and then
yeah.
you walk by the Don Quixote, like I guess in Kamurocho, and it's just like Don Quixote, and you walk in, and it's but everyone's like, yeah, that music gets really annoying. They're just playing that one song over and
Well,
over, and I'm like, oh my
my
god.
go-to is Hard Off, which is like the thrift store equivalent, like big thrift store equivalent of Japan, and they have their own theme song that they play over the intercom, and it's
Mhm.
so Super Nintendo Japanese JRPG town theme, and you can find it on YouTube. It's literally called Hard Off Store Theme, and it's just this. It sounds like you're playing a JRPG and you're buying something in a store, and it's just in complete loop.
I know maybe last year or 2 years ago, Bruno Mars went to Japan. Like he did a tour in Asia. So he hit up Japan, and then he did like a commercial for Don Quixote, and it was like this nice, like bouncy him dancing in the store and everything, even with the big duck dancing with him and everything. It was Donkey Ikuyo.
It's, you know what? Like, to me, the best places to go. This has become a go travel to Japan talk. The best places to go are always the my and I've said this to you. Try to find no white people. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
If you
that was always a joke. Like when me and my partner went to um very touristy parts, and we
yeah
look at each other like, and we like look at each other. Did we get to are we in the right spot? And then we look at the people there, and we're like, "There's no Japanese people here." Yeah, we're in the right spot. We
yeah
went into
because
the tourist
the
spot.
that's the thing is like I find that I'm not going to find the deals if I could see white and black people around me. Like then I know I'm still in the tourist area. The moment I have to start taking photos of things to communicate and use and like I'm the only white guy there, I know I'm in the right spot for deals, so to speak. Oh, we lost JawzD there. What happened there? He'll be back. Um but yeah, it's something where there he's back. What happened there, JawzD? Oh, he's frozen. What happened? Let me get him. Let's see what happened. The internet. The internet. We're professional here, people. Let me disconnect him and then bring him back. I'll have to text him. Either way, what do we have here in the messages? I guess I gotta get my friends for World Dragoness. Well, yeah, and again, the cool thing about might as well pull up the slide too. Put that one. Then I'll message JawzD, see what's up. It's happened to us last time too. We were doing our thing. You got disconnected. Soundwave has interrupted the transmission. Indeed. Now, yesterday too, we were talking like we did our top five, and then we were talking afterwards, and like he got disconnected after it. His connection's a little wonky sometimes where he is. He moved more east end of Montreal. I guess it's the rougher part of it. I don't know. I thought my internet was bad. Canadian internet has always been Canadian internet has always been kind of sketchy sometimes. Says he's still there. That's weird. We don't even see you, my man. Stream not found. Okay, one moment. We got to do it the old school way. Bring the person back in with the chat. We know what we're doing here. This is obviously amazing content for you all. This is how we bring someone back into the chat. I'm going to get messages the whole time, too. Can't see the chat? Well, if you can't see the chat, it's usually a tab for people if they want to see the live chat and everything. Oh, Marcelo, you got to experience Boxing Day. I stand by. It's not just because I'm Canadian, but I stand by that Boxing Day is better than Black Friday, primarily because of just its concept. I got a lot of good stuff during Boxing Day, but I just have too much to talk about tonight, so I'm not going to talk about my Boxing Day finds. But it is something where, like, my goodness, the amount of deals because Boxing Day happens after Christmas, and that's when like stores get really desperate. They really get like, oh no, we have to really move this stuff out of here. Let's see if JawzD is okay. His internet is acting up. What is going on? Let's take a look here. Nothing here yet. It's not JawzD. Can't JawzD see the chat? Yeah, JawzD's connection is been a little sus recently. I don't know what's been happening with that. Oh, the Walmart 2 packs. Let's just say Canada had their own little Walmart 2 pack situation for Boxing Day. So a little different though than what you guys got. You guys got something way better in my opinion. Uh, there's JawzD. He popped in. Let me grab him. Put him back in. There we go. You're back.
Hey,
I don't know what happened
well,
there.
I don't know. The stream cut out, and then when I tried to join back, I said this stream does not exist. So I was like,
I think you
ah,
always have to generate a new key code or something. That's why.
yeah, probably.
So, anyways, as we were saying, let me just get back to the news. So we have here the World Dragoness set. These are done in separate waves and stuff, and they're going to be the 2026 product of Transformers Wild King. Wave one is going to be coming out February 28th, 2026, and that's going to be Leafback and Ignite Leo. What they're doing this time around is they're doing repaints of the previous molds that we got of the Energy Beasts, but changing their color schemes to represent different element powers. So now we got Leafback instead of him being grass power, now he's going to be electricity. Ignite Leo, which was originally fire, is going to be water, and so on and so forth. So these look pretty cool. Again, I've already messed with these molds in their original incarnations, and I think these are incredible Transformer products for what they are, especially for the price. It almost makes me kind of wish this stuff was brought over here. I mean, it's something that I understand why it didn't get brought here because if you mess with Wild King items, you realize that the plastic quality is so good that I don't know if they'd be able to sell it here and make it a price that would be beneficial for them.
Mm,
That it's the same conversation that I have about why core class doesn't exist anymore because all the other price points went up like $3. They all went up like 25% to 28%.
mm-hmm.
And if core class would have followed suit, imagine that core class rat trap, but they're asking $16 for it now.
Yeah,
Like no one like that's kind of the issue that we have right now with Hasbro is
it's a
they're
tall
tr-
ask.
they're trying to find that magic price point that's profitable for them. I'm very curious to see what the numbers are from Chris Cox and the crew when we get to the Q4 report because clearly um, some of their Magic the Gathering stuff kind of underperformed a little bit and that's usually been their bread and butter that like is easy profit.
Yeah,
So they're because they did a Spider-Man set and it didn't do as well as they were hoping. And the problem with that Spider-Man set is that it's a licensed set,
yeah.
It's like they have to pay for that. Where if they did,
Well, they're doing a lot of licensed sets
oh
recently,
yeah,
right?
Universes Beyond is their new thing because to be fair, their Final Fantasy one broke every record.
Right.
So so for them, they go, okay, well, that did well. But I've always felt that, and it's the same reason, like here, I'll just take this off the screen. It's the same reason why I feel that like the Lord of the Rings one did well too, was because those are what I call magic adjacent, meaning
Mm.
like they make
It's still
sense.
fantasy. It's
Yeah,
still within that,
it's
you know.
where Spider-Man, it's like I'm gonna tap my pigeon token and get a hot dog cart from the from the Baxter building, and it's just like, whoa, you've already lost me in like,
I mean, they could have done, I guess, some of the magic stuff from Marvel, but how popular is that? You know, that's the tough part. You know,
well, a lot of
it's like, hey,
people.
we have Sorcerer Supreme, but like, how many big fans of you know, Doctor Strange are there? You know, like I think that would be a tougher sell. Like Spider Man's like, yeah, everyone knows Spider Man. Like I always say, the big three superheroes that you have as a kid is Batman, Superman, Spider Man. Like those are always one of those three you fall into, and then you learn all the rest after them. You know, and like it does make sense to go with Spider Man, but I do agree with you that it's not in the fantasy realm, and that kind of dilutes it a little bit. And I can see why people didn't get into that Spider Man stuff.
The way that I see it is like they have other. universes beyond stuff that's going to be announced soon,
Mm.
and some of them already I'm like, oh man, like if Spider-Man is not magic adjacent, they have Star Trek planned, and
Ugh.
that's like that couldn't be any more the other
Mhm.
side of fantasy science fiction. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I really don't. But at the end of the day, it's again, I get why they're doing it, because if the logic is that if it brings in an audience that normally didn't engage with Magic the Gathering, maybe
Mhm.
they'll continue buying it and they want to grow and grow. But Magic was never in a bad place, and the one thing that always concerns me a lot of times with big companies is a lack of satisfaction of success. It's always we got like it's there's this great chart that I have. I wish I brought it here, and it showed Hasbro's earnings year by year from 1970, I think it was 1978, up until just about 2012. And what was cool about that chart is it would, as the chart would go up and down, it would also show like what were key events that happened during that time. Oh, here's the Kenner merger. Here's the Tonka merger. Here's when Brian Goldner became CEO and stuff. Or like, oh, a movie was out at that time and they had the license for it for that movie and that helped. Or Pokemon was part of it too at one point, and the acquisition of Wizards of the Coast. So it's something where they they clearly, and they being Wizards of the Coast, they clearly are not satisfied with the record breaking money. They still want to make even more money from the record breaking money. And it's a tale as old as time that way too often while chasing that you hit, historical highs, but historical
Mm.
lows too.
Mm.
And that's you know, that's it is what it is. Is JawzD still quiet?
No, no, no.
I
I'm
don't,
here. I'm listening. I'm listening.
no, I'm saying like people are saying like,
I'm still low.
is JawzD still low? I don't know.
Oh
I don't know. We'll
no.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I really don't want to mess with the gain on the back
No,
of
no,
this mic.
don't mess with it. Like we'll just leave it for now, and we'll hope for the best later on. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, like I mean, to me, when it comes to what's going on with Wizards and Hasbro, they need to just kind of focus on the ball. You know. Oh, everyone's saying your mic is good now. Okay, I don't.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay, cool.
I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know. You know what happens? Sometimes people listen on their cell phone and their cell phone has problems. I don't know. It's
I don't. I'd rather listen to what everyone's hearing and then try
well,
to
because
fix it like
sometimes
that.
I look
But
at the chat and some people go, "It's great. It's not good." It's like, okay, I don't know what to
no.
think. Yeah. So here, Jaws sounds powerful now. Okay, good.
Thank you.
I'll live with that.
Thank you.
Okay. But and again, when it goes to like Hasbro, like I just feel that right now they need to focus on, and I'm just saying Transformers, I'm saying as a company as a whole, they really need to focus on where the eyeballs are of the current generation of children, because they're going to go through what I call a WWE problem, which is, the highest of the highs for wrestling was during the Attitude Era of 1997 to 1999, but that
Mm,
was also a time where they completely alienated a younger demographic.
yeah.
And then when they went into the 2000s, which was called the ruthless aggression era, that was some of the lowest viewership. And that's when a lot of people got out of wrestling too.
But then
And
they had
that,
to like a lot of good wrestling. Like I think that was like Eddie Guerrero, Chris
oh, yeah, of
Benoit.
course.
Like
I'm
there's
not,
a lot of good stuff that people are kind of
well,
missing, and we're only kind
the,
of going back now and
the
watching it.
the irony is that like the PG era, which then brought back the kids and John Cena being the face of it, John Cena debuted during the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah.
So but I'm just like, I'm just hoping that they don't fall through those same trappings where, in a pursuit of just, because it's the sad truth is you have way too many times you have people and companies that go, all right, I want to make as much as money as possible, and then I'll just ditch this company and then go work for Microsoft or Google or whatever. And, that way it makes them look good, but it's the, short term mentality of like, oh, I'm going to make all
Mm.
this money, but it's not good for the longevity of the company. And too many times that happens with Hasbro, and they're going to have to. I mean, I'm going to take the word of advice from a certain some CEO of a company and just say, Daniel, don't give away the sauce for free. Wait for them to ask it from you, because way too many times I have that solution, and some other slickster in the office gets it for free from me, and then it makes it their idea. But
Mm.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Either way, let's get
Mhm.
into some other stuff. So, and also Transformers Wild King, the latest episode of Transformers Wild King, episode 14, which is the bonds that protect the planet, as it translates here, will be debuting January 7th, Japan time. So it'll be January 6th, 9 p.m. January 7th, 10 a.m. Japan time. So we'll have that episode exclusively on the Transformer Slag podcast Discord. For some reason, Takara is region blocking everybody. So if you
Ooh,
don't have a VPN, we'll have it on the Discord for you guys and the Patreon and everything. So stay tuned for that. Let's talk blockies for a moment. So,
Blackies.
which are absolutely awesome. And then we'll be talking about blockies later on when we talk about the PO box. Um, we got the latest Wave, the Galaxy version, Wave '09, the Darkest Hour, which is 50% 86 movie love, 50% just, who haven't we done blockies of yet? And just a lot of cool stuff. I mean, the fact that we're getting, RC finally in
Yeah.
blockies, and a little Unicron, which is really cool. We're
When you
getting
say when you say little Unicron, do you mean like in the same like scale as the Blockies, or just like a little
Oh,
bit
it's in the same
bigger?
scale of the blockies. Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably, I mean, blockies on average are about 3 inches to 3 and 3/4.
Because
And
I thought it would have been like more like the more special Blockies, like the really big ones that they do that are more articulated, have color,
oh no, I'm
have
pretty
like
sure that'll happen though. They'll probably do some build a figure blocky at some point of Unicron. But this is clearly because 2026 is going to be, the 40th for the 86 movie. So they're slowly building out that collection right now. And
Mhm.
the chase figure is going to be like a formatted Megatron, like half formatted and everything. So that's pretty cool. We don't have release dates on that one yet, but chances are, if we're already seeing the packaging and we're already seeing these final like product images, and considering how quickly Blockies puts out their product, like they literally like
Mm.
show it off, and then next thing you know, it's on store shelves like a week later. I'm imagining I would not be surprised if next week all this is for sale, if not already right now. So we will see. And then this is a video here. We got this one. They also showed off their Blockies Defender version, Wave '06, the Brutal Fang. And this is our Beast Wars wave, where we get a whole bunch of Beast Wars characters. We get their alt modes, we get their robot modes, we get like chase figures of them that are throwbacks to the original 1996 toys.
Mm.
So a lot of really cool stuff going on there. I love the chase figure of Optimus Primal and Megatron because it comes with like his mutant head and the weapons and stuff. Like just all those little nice details and everything just looks really, really good. Comes with Shattered Glass Rodimus. Can't complain about that, but that's kind of a given because they had to do something with him, just repaint him. And then we have the Combiner. We're getting Bruticus. That's going to be part of a separate collection. You could get some of the limbs through this wave, and then much like the Devastator, you have to buy a separate box set, or you use a promo that you do with the Blockies app, which again are all Chinese exclusives.
Mm.
But again, what we've seen already in the past, there's websites that carry all this stuff, so it's not really too much of an issue. But it looks great. And the Brutal Fang stuff, though, is already available right now. You can pick this up. It is available through different Blockies distributors and stuff, so it should be showing up in your stores if they order it through a distributor of Blockies. But these look really good. Again, a Beast Wars wave has me hyped. It has Beast Wars. It has a Rodimus in it. I mean, I can't go. I can't complain.
Always
Look,
with the Rodimus.
always with the
Oh,
Rodimus. Always with the
gotta be
Rodimus.
with the
It makes
Rodimus.
my life cheaper though, because it's like if I just like focus on one character, sometimes it's a lot cheaper than being a completist. I used to be a completist of everything, and now it's like, uh, don't have enough money for that. I'll be poor.
Exactly.
I'll be poor if that happens. But these guys look great though, absolutely fantastic. These are available right now, so check that out. And then this is a supposed rumor. uh, JT Prime 17 had a listing for this of a Tra core case assortment of tiny turbo changers. Apparently, turbo changers are going to be either being reissued or coming back in some shape or form. I think what's going on here from an inside baseball kind of situation is I think it's just we got to get some trademarks rounded up,
Mm.
and tiny turbo changers are a cheap way to do that. It's like, oh, hey, we haven't used, I don't know. I'm just going to turn my head and look at some tiny turbo changers, like a lockdown from the movie or something, or, maybe even like wheels or, wheelie and some of the others. It's just one of those things where they go, okay, we need to use some of these trademarks, put out a tiny turbo changer. We don't have to do crazy engineering. A lot of those tiny turbo changers already cover those trademarks. Just do a reissue box set, and that's that. That's what I think might happen,
Mm.
but we will see. The assortment is supposed to be under the Authentics branding. So it's probably something that if these do come out, historically, Transformers Authentics product are usually found in Market 6 locations. And for people who don't know what Market 6 locations are, anything that's outside of the standard Walmart, Target, in the case for the longest time, Toys R Us, uh, it's something more. It's like in the case of America, CVS. For
Okay.
Canada, Jean Coutu,
Mm.
Shoppers Drug Mart. Uh, it's usually the weirder locations of stuff like drugstores and everything. So that's what it usually is for. So even grocery stores sometimes if they have a toy section.
Mm.
So there's that, and then we'll get into this one here. Uh, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. There is a Gashapon set called the Transformers miniature package collection, which are these Gashapon machines that for 300 yen have one of six different miniature keychains that are based off of Generation 1 packaging. So Wave 1, which had already come out at this point, December 8th is when it came out, had Optimus, Jazz, Bumblebee, Megatron, uh, Galvatron, and one of his minions in the case of Scourge.
Hmm.
And now Wave 2 has been revealed. And again, there's that Rodimus hot rod stuff. So Wave 2 has been revealed, and we have some high end images of it right now. So Wave 2 is going to have Rodimus, Ultra Magnus, Metroplex, Starscream, Soundwave, and Cyclonus, all based off of their
Mm.
Generation 1 packaging from Japan. Again, looks like they're leaning a little bit into 86 characters, once again, because of the 86 movie
Hmm.
and what's going on with that. And these are planned to be showing up in Gashapon machines all over Japan January 12th, 2026. So if you're interested in those, and they're 300 yen a shot. I heard somewhere you could buy full sets of these, but it might be just people getting entire full sets.
Mm.
And yeah,
And selling
and
them
and
basically.
just selling them basically exactly. Got messages here. Let me just close that. It never ends.
Enterprising people.
It never ends. It never ends. But yeah, and that's it more or less for the news. There isn't much else in terms of news. Again, it's always, I always find like between January 15th and the end of the year, news gets really kind of quiet uh, in the transformer world because both Japan, China, and the Western companies, they all go on break. So they don't want to like drop big news or anything.
And then I think also Asia, they go on a big break after
Oh yeah,
our
well
New
that's
Year's.
Spring Festival as they call
Yeah.
it, yeah, or Chinese New Year. Um, they go like MIA for like almost a month.
Yeah.
Fonhart says I'll be getting 2 boxes of the Brutal Fang Defenders. Not big on Beast Wars. Well then, there's plenty of people that are big on Beast Wars, so I'm pretty sure they'll be interested in that. Where can we buy those little Transformer boxes? Well, I imagine, like I said, they come from Gashapon machines, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be going to Japan or already locals in Japan and just hitting those up and then selling their doubles, trying to make full sets. I know that when I was in Japan, they were doing the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster pop-up store, and they had like rows and rows of Gashapon machines for like little pixel figures,
Hmm.
and there was just people just like 200 yen, 200 yen, 200 yen, like they were just like trying to get their their favorites, and I'm pretty sure that the ones that they don't want end up on, Facebook or Marketplace, or even, eBay is probably the most common place you'll probably be able to find them. I know a lot of blind box stuff that's exclusive to Japan. I would usually buy it off of eBay if a store didn't carry it. So that's
Hmm.
one way to do it. What's up, James? But yeah, so next up, we'll talk about some sponsors, and then we'll talk about all our stuff, and then we'll take super chats, and we'll chill for the rest of the evening. So first, again, got to give a shout out to the sponsors, because man, oh man, like they've been with us all this time. And Symbiote Studios, man, plush pins and t-shirts. Again, thank you, Symbiote Studios, for all the love and support all year round, supporting the podcast, giving us some cool stuff, and hanging out. And we'll be seeing you guys, of course, at TFCon LA in March. They're going to be having, of course, their new edition, which will be debuting at TFCon LA, and it'll be that of the Swoop for their Dinobot collection.
Swoop.
So you'll be able to finally get all your Dinobot plushes. They'll also have some other little things here and there. My Little Pony, they might bring this and that. Their pin collection. They have a whole Magic the Gathering pin collection set. I don't know if they'll be bringing those, but we'll see what happens. But thank you, Symbiote Studios, for being a sponsor all year round for the podcast. And hope to see more great product that you have planned for 2026. I know there's a lot of cool stuff coming, especially for San Diego. And then the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Again, Aaron would have been with us today, but he's right now in the middle of setting up, getting his brand new setup created in Rhode Island. And then we'll get back to business, and we'll be doing live streams, and we'll be doing full segments and stuff. And he's not dead. He's still chilling. He's just a busy man getting
Hmm.
back into the swing of things. And of course, his Posca paintings that are for sale right now on archermonster.com/shop. Check that out too. There's Shia LaBeouf holding one of his in the photo.
Yeah, that
And
was pretty cool.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's shout out to Cringe McCringle for who met Shia and got that great shot. But
I
you
think
know,
also Shia got to meet Peter Cullen as well. There was like
oh
a
yeah,
picture of him
there's a great photo of
talking to
him
each
seeing
other.
Pete. You know what? It's funny because those two probably were never in the same spot like
Mm,
during the entire time, because obviously all the audio for the voice acting is done after the fact.
yeah.
And so it's like, it's not like Peter was on set when any of that stuff was going on. So but it is fascinating. It is fascinating.
Hmm.
I'm glad that Shia is now doing conventions, because he was one of those guys that was like, oh no, is he gonna be one of those guys that like doesn't want to do cons, and that's not his jam. But I'm
Mm.
glad that he's doing it, and hopefully we could get him possibly at a TF con in the future or something. And
Yeah, he's
that,
been through a lot of stuff recently, and I think he's definitely enjoying the fact that people are sending, positive vibes his way, and like I think one of I saw like he got asked a question. He wanted to know like, are they vetting these questions? He's like, no, no one vetted the questions and stuff. It's just me asking. So like I think he genuinely wants to know what people have on their mind and talking to him and stuff like that.
well, I mean, the reality now makes us feel old, because here it comes.
Hmm.
2027 is going to be the 20th anniversary of that movie,
Hmm.
which is wild when you think about it. But what it also means is there's a lot of 5 to 7 year olds that grew up on that
Yeah.
that are hitting almost 30, you know, which is like wild when you think about
and
that. But
and also Shiloh's been working since he was a child actor. Like he's
oh
been
yeah,
working for a very long time, you
you
know?
know what's maybe I forget the name of the actor. So one of the actors that was in the movie Holes with Shia,
Hmm.
like apparently he's a huge Mega Man fan.
Oh, no
And
way.
yeah, and he because what happens is when someone who has like a huge following follows you on Twitter, it like
Hmm.
lets you know, like it kind of like
Yeah.
informs you. And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is, right?
Hmm.
But he was like commenting in like all my Mega Man posts. And he's
Mm.
like, "Oh my god, like that's so cool." And I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then I looked up, I'm like, "Oh, he was in Holes with Shia LaBeouf." I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
cool.
I'm bad. I have to just say it's not an insult to him. I'm just really bad with actors. I'm like
Mm.
terrible with that.
You're the
So
worst.
no, no, like seriously, like I'll go back and watch movies that I've seen like hundreds of times as a kid, and then I'll go back and watch and go, oh, that was Christopher Walken. You know, like, and you know what that movie was, Wendell? That was
What?
Batman Returns. You know, like
Oh
it's
my
yeah,
goodness.
exactly. It's like
But
Max Shrek.
to be fair, I didn't realize it until I was older because only when you're older and then like, you're hearing all the Christopher Walken bits and stuff like that, you go back like, "Oh, that was him the whole time."
I'm so bad with actor.
I
Because
think
I'm not a movie person. I'm not a celebrity person. I don't pay attention to that kind of
I
stuff.
think when it's wrestlers, you peek your head
That's
in.
it's what you just said. It's sports with me.
Mm,
Growing up, it was always athletes. Like I will know Mike Madonna before I'll know Christopher Walken. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'll watch a Mighty Ducks movie and go, "Oh, that's Mike Madonna," you know. And but like who's Emilio Estevez? You know, like I don't know who these people
Oh,
are. Yeah.
how do you know who Emilio Estevez is? He was in Mighty Ducks. He was the coach. He's Coach
No, but
Bombay.
that's
How
what I'm
dare
trying.
you,
But
sir?
that's what I'm trying to say. Like that stuff is so wasted on me. It
Oh, what
is.
was that other movie he did? He did the National Lampoon movie where they're spoofing oh, what was it? Um
You're asking the wrong person.
Lethal Weapon. He was with
Oh,
Samuel L. Jackson.
I know what you're talking about though. It was
You would probably know that.
Hot
But I can't.
Shots.
No, it's not Hot Shots. Hot Shots is his brother, Martin Sheen. Michael Sheen? Martin
Mike,
Sheen?
I don't know. You're again.
Oh, hold on, hold on.
Someone in the chat's gonna correct us on that, but
SH. No, Martin Sheen's the dad, and then the son, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was Hot Shots Part 1 and Part 2, and then there was like another another
it's
movie that
Loaded Weapon. Loaded Weapon.
yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Flatline Girl.
Thank
Loaded
you.
Weapon. And you know what's so sad? Like real talk again, little Protoman lore. Like I worked at a video store. You know, like it's just it's so sad. Like I worked at a video store between 1993 and 1995, like nonstop, and it was like the first job I ever had, and I didn't know any. Like I just, like if it wasn't Rodney Dangerfield, I don't know. Like comedians, I would know. That's probably the extent of it. Like Leslie Nielsen or
I think
whoever.
my favorite was when I finally got you to watch The Princess Bride.
Yeah, which
And
again, I haven't seen. I never saw Princess Bride until you told me. How long ago was that? You know what I
that
mean?
was a
Like,
few years ago.
yeah, it was only a few years
And
ago.
we watched it together. We watched the whole thing, and the grandfather was amazing. And we're like, why is the grandfather so familiar? Why is it? And we looked him up, and it's like Peter Falk. Who's Peter Falk? Why does he look so familiar? And then we dug into his IMDb. Oh, it's Columbo. Holy crap!
See, I didn't know that.
We know Columbo.
Now I know Columbo.
Well, I'm sure you used to watch Columbo back in the day with
My
with your
grandmother used to
exactly,
religiously. My
exactly.
grandmother used to watch it. That and Matlock were
Mhm.
that and Jake and the Fat Man. Those are like her. Those are
That's a deep cut right there.
her early to late early '90s grandma shows. Evening shows that she would
But no,
watch.
Columbo was good. Columbo is like he would just always play stupid. He would ask his questions and like, oh, okay, and then take down notes. And then at the end, he would like, bam.
See again, Rob Reiner passed away. I'm bad. I'm terrible with actors. Terrible with actors. It's always
you,
something where
you
I
know
I
when Harry Met Sally, right?
no. See,
You know, okay, what was it called? Hold on. Spinal
I could
Tap. You know Spinal
Wendell.
Tap, right?
I could recite every single like lyric to every single '90s cartoon intro of all time. I don't know anything of like
S-
these movies that like
But
so much of.
Spinal Tap was in The Simpsons. Remember
See,
when Bart wanted to
I
become
know
a
Spinal
rock
Tap
star?
because of The Simpsons. I
Right.
never saw
So he
Spinal Tap.
directed the movie Spinal
I
Tap.
never saw Spinal Tap. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
Like,
there's a bunch of bits in Spinal Tap that you would be like, oh, that's from there. Okay, like going to 11. Well, why don't you just make 11 10, and then no, well, just
so
it's 11.
James Hopkins in the chat says, "Don't forget Murder She Wrote." So, fun fact about Murder She
Yes.
Wrote: um, one of the guests that I think it's Michael Horton is his name, who was Chip Chase's voice actor.
Mm.
uh, he's related to the woman from Murder She Wrote, and
Angela Lansbury.
yeah, she came to TFCon temporarily, and she was
What?
there. Yeah,
That has to be
she
an LA one.
that was the LA one. She was there. I didn't realize it was her until after the fact when Michael Horton told me. He's like, that's Angela Lansbury, right? And I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, Murder
Do
She
you
Wrote. I'm like, oh, I know that. Like
do you remember Mrs. Potts in what was it called? Beauty and the Beast.
I know Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, so she
Yeah,
was Mrs.
so
Potts. She was
You had Chip the little
so the
teacup, and then
so
you had
she
the
that was
pot.
played by her. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah, that
she.
was her. Yeah.
But that's why. So she came, and because she's related to Michael Horton, like, and there's like I think they're like direct cousins or something, and she brought his grandchildren were there. It was interesting, like
Ah, that's
because
nice.
long story short, Michael Horton's granddaughter, her boyfriend's obsessed with Transformers, and so he came to the show with the whole family. And then they were like, "Which character were you?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm Chip Chase." Well, we got to get a figure of you. And it's like, and I was like, I was kind of like, "Yeah, well, the only Chip Chase figures with Masterpiece
Oh
Sunstreaker."
no,
But
it's
you know
too
what they did?
expensive.
They went out and bought it. They found
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, they were
Nice.
like, "We're gonna get it," and it was like, "Oh wow, okay." So yeah,
That's awesome.
she was at and again she was
Oh
at
man,
but you know what? The
that's
LA
so
show,
incognito though.
but
That's
but
so
it's the LA shows. The LA
yeah.
shows that show specifically, that LA show with Michael Horn. That was the one where Ego Raptor came with Rubber
Mm,
Ross and stuff. Like a lot of people like came on the down low to that
yeah.
one. Same thing. What's his name? The guy from Pacific Rim, the director. What's his name?
Really?
Uh, he was
No, not Benicio del Toro.
no,
Hold on a
yeah, Del
second.
Toro. Yeah, he was at BotCon one year. He just came
Oh,
with his
okay.
family. Yeah, he just showed up, and Tyrese showed up one time too. I think it was
Oh
BotCon
yeah, you
2000.
told me about that one.
Yeah, I think it was 11. It was 11 or 9. One of the LA. It's always the LA ones. No surprise. But
I want to make sure I get
what
this guy's name right because Guillermo del
Guillermo
Toro.
del
Excuse
Toro.
me. I want to make
Yeah.
sure I get his name right because he's actually like a fan of stuff in general,
Yeah, he
and
was
he's
there
always
too. There's photos of him from BotCon where he was just in
oh,
the
that's
dealer room,
cool.
just kind of. Again, that's the thing I keep telling people. Like the LA shows are a wild card because it's right in the heart of all of that. So like if I don't know, if Jim Carrey's feeling peckish, and just wants to come to a transforming robot convention, like it's a possibility.
Because like I know even Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincible and Walking Dead, he was there at
Yeah,
LA at
yeah,
the
he
one of
was
the
there.
LA shows.
Uh,
I went really quick. I was like, "Sir, is that you?" Da, da. And so I just wanted to let you know I've been paying attention to you since like iFanboy days. So when he heard that, he was like, "Oh crap, that's a while back." And I remember I found out you were a fan because you're at one of the Comic-Con. You're at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and you were looking for MP1 Masterpiece Optimus Prime back in the day. And when you said that, I was like, "How do you know our language?" So enjoy the show, and I'm gonna leave you alone. Bye. And I just I just peaced out. I didn't want to crowd him or anything like that, but
we got
I
a
just wanted to let him know I known him for a while.
we got a super chat from Draco Rex for $2. Thoughts or hopes for the Batman collab Transformers? Well, I mean, I'm just hoping it's '89 Tim Burton Batmobile. I mean, the only other one that's equally iconic is the '66 Adam West. Uh,
I would say the
nah,
animated
yeah, the
90s
animated one's there too.
90s
Yeah,
animated one, but that's
the
like a nice
the
streamline.
only problem with that one is I don't know who has the master toy license for that. It might be
Mm.
Todd McFarlane right now.
Oh,
So
oh, right,
yeah,
right.
so it kind of falls into that where it's like who has the master license for that? Because I had a similar conversation recently. I forgot what it was about, but it was something also where it was about Doctor Who, because
Mm,
someone was saying like, oh, why there hasn't been a Doctor Who collab yet with Transformers, and supposedly there's this UK toy based company that has like a stranglehold on the Doctor Who toy license,
right.
and they like refuse to let go of it for anybody because they're like a small company that like only makes Doctor Who stuff, and they like
Mm,
refuse to let go of it, and it was so bad that because there's a character in Doctor Who named Straxus,
okay.
and they would put out a figure named Straxus, and that's why Straxus, the Transformer character, couldn't have his name initially, and it was called
Mhm.
Darkmount because of this company. I forget what the name was, but I remember having this conversation like 2 weeks
I
ago
think
or
the only
something.
last time I've seen a Doctor Who
Oh, there's ton
toy
there's tons of merch.
in TV was the Mr. Bean Christmas special.
Oh,
Where they have the manger and like all these people are marching outside the manger and like uh, and Joseph's like shh, keep quiet, the baby's sleeping, shush shush, and it's just like then a battle happens and then for some reason a dialect comes in and starts shooting everything. And then they have to airdrop baby Jesus out of there.
yeah, the helicopter. James says, I'd like it if it's a new mold or an existing mold. I think it would be a new mold from the ground up. It would either that or it'd have to be a insane retool partial from something. But
Yeah.
I would really hope that, I mean, especially it's always been Aaron Archer's dream to do that, like to have a Batman
Mm.
collab. And like he kind of indirectly made Batmobiles all throughout the Unicron trilogy as a result. Like if you look at the Minicon Downshift, if you look at Cybertron, Megatron's vehicle mode, there's Batman flavor to those. And, you know, we've had third party Batman stuff at best, but we've never had official Transformer Batman stuff. And it's funny because at one point it could have happened because Batman was under Kenner for the longest time, which is Hasbro. It's just, it was a different time. But
And
Ninjatron says you have good memory.
well, I think especially for Aaron, it would be like, merging his past and his present together.
No, that would
Getting
be
getting that
well,
together.
that was his first major gig was
Mm.
Batman, like he was supposed to work on Gargoyles. They literally set up his desk in the Gargoyle office and then the next day they're like, "Yeah, that line's canceled." And that was that, and instead they put him on Batman, more specifically Batman Forever.
Mhm.
If you want Aaron Archer's rookie card, as I like to call it, get Lightwing Batman from Batman Forever. And then afterwards, he did some Target exclusive repaints, and that
Mm.
was then the rest was history. So very, very cool stuff. Or an '89 Batwing. A Batwing would be cool too, but it's just the Batmobile. There's certain ones because from my perspective, it's not even about Transformer fans. It's just like what would casual people like? It's just a slam dunk,
Mm.
and that Batmobile is just so iconic. Like I can't stress enough just how amazing that thing is. um that for them not to do that, like that front like missile part that could easily be a gun. You look at the two wings on the back end of the Batmobile that kind of make like, vertical spoilers. That could totally be like the shoulders of the, or like the elbow, not the elbows, the traps or the shoulders of the robot mode arms. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it kind of does. It makes, and there's a bootleg out there of a Transformers Batmobile. There was a bootleg that came out in like the early '90s. I forget what toy company did it, and it's been done, but never in official capacity. And I think that would be the best. I personally am not a fan of the tumbler from the Christopher Nolan movies.
No?
So it's not that because it's so Transformers already. Like
Mm.
if you look at the tumbler, there's Transformer designs that are already that shape and look. Like
Mhm.
what was his name from Combiner Wars? That was part of Defensor, but he wasn't part of Defensor. Like
Oh, he
there's
was like the 6th robot
yeah,
kinda thing?
I forget his name. It escapes me. Such a great mold though. Like you have stuff that's kind of in that vibe already where
Mhm.
I want to have like just a Batmobile, like
Right.
just to do something like that. And another reason why they probably won't go the 66 route is only just because it's based off of a real vehicle that's been retooled.
Like a Cadillac or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's a Cadillac 64 that's been like completely Rook. Thank you guys. Rook is the name of that dude.
Oh,
And
yeah, Rook. That's true.
it's but totally like it's I 89 Batmobile, like that would
Mm.
be and I predict honestly I think that's going to be one of the big reveals at San Diego Comic-Con, because every San Diego Comic-Con they did a big collab reveal,
Mhm.
and it just kind of makes sense to do it at San Diego,
I
you
kind of
know?
feel like if it was the tumbler, it would be like a triangle. He'll have like Johnny Bravo proportions.
Ugh,
So like the big wheels in the back would be the shoulders, and then the arms come out from the side, and then like the smaller wheels would be like the hips, so it's like kind of coming down a triangle, and then you have the legs, and then maybe maybe the jet engine in the back will come out as the head, and then you would tilt it back, and then the face would be on the front,
No
would be on the
offense, that would be
inside.
so ugly. That would be
I'm ruining everything for
no,
everybody.
that would be that'd be so ugly, that one. But it's just to me, it's just I've
I mean,
always felt
if they did do the 86 Batwing, I'm sure like animated Batwing would be super easy to
89,
do. You
89 Batman.
hey, sorry, 89 Batwing, yeah, Batwing,
Batwing.
then the animated Batwing would be because basically they're roughly the
Oh, it's
same thing.
well,
It's just that
both
the
they're both
animated
of
one is
them.
more smooth.
Yeah, both of them. Both of them is you take the Tim Burton design and now you make it a Bruce Timm design. Like you give it that
Yeah.
that coat of paint and
But
flavor.
I feel like those 2 are extremely like, they're just
Oh yeah,
basically
hundred
the
percent.
same, and it's just more streamlined, more smooth, and then, like, you'll definitely get a difference if you did the, uh, 89 and animated one, like, they're very like, they look they're not similar, but it's just one's just way streamlined, and then the other one is just more there's
Well,
more
I
curves
feel
to it, more
also like,
flowing to it.
actions speak louder than words. And, I always look at what Hasbro reissues. And
Right.
clearly the Ecto 1 did very well.
Mm,
The Ecto 1, like, made so much money that they re-released it, did a new tooling. Like Ghostbusters seems to do really well. Like it seems like the Ghostbuster audience really likes buying Transformers. Like
yeah.
there's clearly some crossover there.
Well, like, you have to think to yourself, how many times are you getting the Ecto 1 in
I guess
general?
so. I guess
You know
so.
what I mean? So, like, once you get that Ecto 1 finally coming out, like, yeah, oh, that's a good, you know, scale for that Ecto. Oh, it transforms as well. Well, 2 in 1. Cool.
Yeah, it that one, they seem to really like that one and lean on it. And clearly the Jurassic Park one to do a second
Yeah.
release of different characters also implies that there was enough of an audience of the Jurassic Park ones where it's like clearly people didn't really show up for X-Men or for the Top Gun one, which I mean,
Yeah, the Top Gun one, it could've I felt it
that's
could've been
probably
done
the weak
better
that and the X-Men one were probably the weakest of the bunch. Just gonna turn my head for a second because I have them all over there. I'm trying to remember some of the others. Oh, the
because
Back to the
'cause Top
Future.
Gun
How
one
could I forget
wasn't
that
it,
one?
the Top Gun one, wasn't it
It's from Maverick, the new movie.
yeah, but isn't it like the toy size, was it a deluxe or was it even bigger than
He's
that?
like a Voyager-ish.
It looked
All,
very weird.
most of them are kind of like they're kind of like their own price points in that, like, oh
Mm,
yeah, like it's supposed to be a deluxe price point for the cars, but they have so much parts and pieces and everything that they
right.
might as well be Voyagers at the end of the day, a la like a Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, because
Mm,
there's just so much extra. But Gigawatt, yeah, like the Ecto one, not the Ecto one, the Back to the Future
Back
one,
to the Future.
Gigawatt. That was another one that also did very well. Like they did the numbered versions and those sold out, and so clearly there was a demand. But everyone loves Back to the Future, so
Yeah, everyone likes the DeLorean.
yeah, that's something where it's almost not even about the movie. It's just it's such an iconic car that
Yeah.
people just want to have it as a Transformer, even though we technically got a DeLorean in Transformers just once, but. I don't know. We
Was
were
it
talking
Swindle? Was he Swindle? No.
Swindler, the
Swindler.
Micromaster,
Yeah.
which was a DeLorean in theory, and it was a tongue in cheek joke at John DeLorean,
Right.
uh, and his less than nice business practices with the DeLorean company, so they called him Swindler. So that was kind of what the story is with that. Just want to also just give a shout out again. My Mega Man comic book is going to be debuting January 14th next month, so be sure to check that out. January 4th will also be when Josh Perez's book, the Mega Man Legends cover with the Transformers 86 movie art, that'll also be available on January 4th. So go to your local comic book stores and go, hey yo, I want some other robot action. And of course, last thing to also mention, be sure to check out the top 5 Transformers of 2025 with me and JawzD. We uploaded that yesterday, and it's doing pretty good. And again, if you didn't do your vote, just leave it in the comment below and let people know what you would have voted as your top figure of the year. Because not everyone got to get their vote in, but we got a good 300 plus people, and pretty clear winner. Go check out that segment. No spoiler of of who won that and what we voted for, more or less. So, just want to get everything over here. So, went to the PO box. Went to the PO box a little bit a while back and got a whole bunch of stuff that were waiting for me there. Uh, had to do these in waves of what did I get. And today we're going to be talking about what I got from Fawn Heart, who's in the chat today. Whole bunch of things, some surprises too. I believe this was from you, Fawn Heart, also because it was also in the box with a
Yeah.
cool little Mega Man helmet. This was done through, I believe, Funko did these blind box helmets because I know that I have these too. I have the Snake Man one in green and I have the Protoman one. I don't have the red one though, which I don't know which one that's supposed to represent. Maybe item number 2, I'm going to assume. But thank you for that. And the big one here was a whole bunch of blockies that were sent to me. So got this bad boy,
Yeah.
which
How, how many of those you have? 5 now?
no, this is actually my first one. Because
Oh.
yeah, well, because so with blockies, I'm very particular about which ones I want of the Defender price point, excuse me, the Galaxy price point and stuff. So that wave, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that. Another cool thing that Fawn Heart sent was a lot of the world's smallest stuff. Like, let me show an example. So this is like world's smallest Starscream. It's a little figurine in there. You could take it out. But that was the wave that came with miniature comic books. So these are
Oh.
the world's smallest G1 comic books, and they're actually,
No. No. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
What's the quality on that?
Well, here's the thing.
Readable or
Like,
you need reading glasses? What's up?
so they actually include magnifying glasses with it, so you could actually like read the comic.
Oh my god.
So the only negative I could say
Mm.
about this, so for anyone knows the very first issue of the Marvel books, there's a great 2-page spread of when all the Autobots are together. Because this book, the way it was put together, it's obviously put together without the original ads. So the 2-page spread, unfortunately, is ruined because it's
Oh no.
yeah, because obviously the 22 pages wasn't planned properly.
Mhm.
So, but otherwise, very impressive. And again, to own a world's smallest version of my favorite cover of all time, the Shockwave cover from
Oh my
MD,
goodness.
great stuff. They also included the GI Joe ones, so I got those
Oh,
too.
okay.
And then I got also the He-Man ones,
Ah,
Masters of the
nice.
Universe. And they also had Ninja Turtles, but what's interesting with the Ninja Turtle ones, it's like they only could get the license for the IDW comics. It's not the original Mirage
Oh,
books.
okay.
So that's not the vintage ones. And it was also a bag of blockies, oversized the oversized cards that came with them too. I guess we'll call them the box toppers.
Mhm.
Those were pretty cool. But the big thing, I just have to move everything one moment. Bear with me. The big thing was all of this came in a giant box. So for people that don't know, I only recently, during a trip, this was a couple weeks ago, learned of something called Dollar Tree. In
Only now?
only now,
You've never heard of it before prior to that?
I knew of it, but I never went to one, right?
Mhm.
And so me and the loved one, we were traveling, we were doing a road trip, and we were in some small town. This was when was TFCon's not TFCon, the Mississauga video game convention. So anyways, we were driving through a small town and I saw Dollar Tree and I think we were just like, "Oh, let's go in." You know, we were bored. And we checked it out and I became obsessed with Dollar Tree's exclusive toy line called Final Faction. So, which is it's GI Joe if they were like a quarter to a dollar a piece. So Bonhart pretty much sent me a case of them,
Oh my god.
of like all of them, and not all of them, but most of them.
Mhm.
Um, so thank you for that. Uh, and it's funny too because after I was talking about it, like Aaron Archer's like, "Oh yeah, I love Final Faction too," and Aaron brought a few Final Faction pieces to TFCon Chicago just to like to mess with because from the toy design standpoint, to give you an idea, because JawzD has no clue about this stuff. It's essentially, it was a toy line that was created by an individual that's like, how could we stretch $1.25 and
Mm.
make a GI Joe figure for a dollar store? And they managed to pull it off. Like
Right.
they managed to show that it could be done, right?
Hmm.
So this one here is Steel. He's kind of like Falcon, for lack of better words, from Avengers.
Right.
And they pretty much show like, hey, you could do a GI Joe figure for $1.25. It could be done. And it's almost like kind of like a,
I think
hey,
you showed
Hasbro,
me some of them.
you guys are ripping people off, like. So, and
I think you had showed me one or two of those at TFCon Chicago, like
yeah,
as the show
well,
was wrapping, and I was like,
Aaron,
"What?"
yeah, Aaron had them at his booth. He had, I want to say he had Steel and what was the other one? I think maybe the robot. And but because they really are like, if you're someone who's like wants to learn toy design and wants to learn like budget, which is the most, like when you're going to start being a toy designer, budget's going to be a big part of your job, like just
Mhm,
finding ways to balance it. It's one of those toys, like get one and study it and go like, oh, okay, so like they're able to get like 5 deco hits on this and the articulation, how many parts are used, and it's sonic welded. Sonic welded is when a figure is put together, but it's not with screws, it's with like, melted plastic and glue. Like,
mm.
to give an example for you, JawzD, to like any Toy Biz X-Men toy was sonic welded.
Oh, okay.
But
Didn't they
any
usually
G
have one screw in the yeah,
not to
no, no,
my knowledge, no.
I'll no, you're
Actually,
right. I'm trying to think back to, like, CIA, um, Wolverine, and he had that twist. Yeah, I don't remember him
no,
having
I don't think
any screws. No,
so.
you're right. No, no, you're right.
The ones screws were really like Joe's, like
Mm,
GI Joe with the O-ring with the central screw.
right.
Cops Fighting Crime in a Future Time also is the same thing. Transformers are tons of screws.
Mhm,
This is like Sonic welded is like most action figures, but so like these, I have one right here. Actually, I have steel right here loose. They're Sonic welded, but they show how this thing is dusty as hell. Damn cats. Like, it shows how like you could, this is like $1.25.
right.
They're able to pull this off, where this same figure, if this was, Sam Wilson, you know,
Mhm,
Avengers figure.
yeah,
And I have an example because I was showing photos, like here's like Captain America next to it.
right.
Like this here is like 14.99.
Mm,
This here is $1.25. Although I've recently been on clearance in some places for 25 cents, I've been hearing.
ooh,
So if you have a Dollar Tree near you, go check it out. They're really cool. They're really cool. And if you're someone who wants to understand toy design, they're a really good example of that, where you get to look at them and, study and understand, like, oh, okay, like this is where they cut corners here, but Todd McFarlane had a great line where it's like, the reason why Todd McFarlane's toys were so successful was take 10 cents out of plastic, put 10 cents more into paint. That was always
mm,
his line. And that's what made those early Spawn figures so popular, was because they had more paint. And that
mhm,
10 cents goes a long way when you take it away from somewhere else. And that's why Spawn figures were more statues than they were action figures, but that
yeah.
10 cents more paint made them stick out on the shelving. And then
Spawn
every
needs a Spawn 1 needs a toy, needs a weapon.
yeah,
Just give him a bat with a nail in
yeah, give him
it.
give him a piece of wood with a nail in it.
Put a spike in
What clown needs an action feature? Give him a chicken leg with a bite in it. Yeah.
it.
Uh, but yeah, but that gave birth to Todd Toys, which later on became McFarlane Toys, and that whole industry. And then everyone copied it afterwards. Everyone was just like, "Yo," you know. So it's just,
Mhm.
but very cool stuff. Again, thank you, Fawn Heart. Slowly been opening everything.
Yeah,
Slowly been opening everything. The robot one is always the one that's really cool. I kind of, and see what's cool about seeing, you would appreciate this,
mm.
Jawsy, because like they come with like accessory packs also.
Oh, okay.
And the accessory packs are also, and they're cut like the accessory packs, because everything is customizable, because they all have
Okay.
like ports on them. So every
Mhm,
figure you could put like, all kinds of stuff. And what's crazy, this shows just how much they're good at balancing the budget. Action figures are $1.25.
mhm.
The accessory packs are $1.25. Vehicles are
Oh
$1.25.
my god, what?
They figure,
That doesn't make
so
any
all you have
sense.
to do is assemble the vehicle. That's it. It's like a little model kit. But that's what's crazy. Like they pull it off. Like it's them
It
showing.
reminds me of what was that show back in the day? Ex
Oh, Exo
Executioners or
Squad.
something?
Exo Squad.
No, not Exo Squad, older than that.
Oh,
They would
really?
go
Older than that?
power extreme.
Oh, you're talking about oh my god, why am I blanking?
It was an old 80s show.
I know exactly what you're talking about because one of them is named James McLeod, and that's
Yeah.
he was the flight guy.
The Centurions.
Centurions.
Centurions. Power extreme.
Yeah,
And then that was their gimmick too, where it's like you buy one figure, and then if you bought any other figures, and you could swap their parts together and stuff, their accessories together,
see
and they
now
had
everyone's
ports like that.
Marcelo Centurions, Ninjatron Centurion. Everyone's like, how could you not know? I was on the spot. It's sad because I have Centurion figures actually up in my, I call it the doubles room. It's where I keep all my inventory. I have a bunch of them there. Ace McLeod. There you go. Because I remember
Yeah.
one of them was like, oh, that's where maybe Fox got his name from.
Additional voices: Dan Gilvis and Colonel Chuck Bates in "You Only Love Twice."
There you go. Um, but yeah, it's
Oh, Dick
something.
Oche too. Sorry.
It's just something where it's a great line that gives you an idea. Like, because so many
Mhm.
people they ask Aaron Archer, like, how do I get into the toy industry? Where should I start? Try to understand the science of it, because how Aaron got into the industry was he was an artist. That's how
Mm.
he got in, you know. But how that it was back then is very different than today. Today, now you have to have a very good idea of 3D space. I think in a world today where everything is 3D printed, um,
CAD, a lot of CAD.
yeah, a lot of CAD. You get more familiar with that, if anything, and really start to understand that kind of stuff. Because
Blender.
I see, yeah, I see a lot of people. They bring me stuff at TFCon that is incredible what they
Mm.
do with a 3D printer. Like, I'm jealous of how talented they are with that kind of stuff. You know, so like that's the best way. And but then when you get into understanding deco hits and the price and the B price, so it's
Mm.
understanding, like, the A price is like the actual figure itself, and the B price it's like this is with packaging, because it's the same thing with this. Like, they do what's called a bubble in bubble packaging.
Mm.
That's like the cheap way. Like the later.
Megatron
Oh,
must be stopped,
we got a
no
YouTube
matter
member
the
question.
cost.
Hey, Proto, find any good deals on Boxing Day? Well, I did actually, but I'm going to save that for probably next week because it's a lot of stuff. Uh, I will say this. So, what I did on Boxing Day was there was a warehouse comic sale. Some guy rented out like a clothing store warehouse and then just brought like hundreds of long boxes of comic books that were all not sorted at all. It was a nightmare. Like, nothing was sorted. So, and a lot of great deals. A lot of good stuff was bought. Let's put it this way. A lot of good stuff was bought. Stuff that actually was worth money was in there. Clearly, they didn't go through it extensively. Um, a lot of really important key issue comics were in there that I walked away with. Two of them being first appearance of X-23 and Domino,
Mm.
which tells you right away the era that most of these comics were. 90% of the comics were 80s, 90s, and above, but there was a lot of good stuff there. So hey, first issue of Staroids, and a lot of weird toy books, as I like to call them. Getting the first three issues of California Raisins by
Jeez.
yeah,
Oh my
but
god.
it was all dollar bin, everything. That's what it
Mhm.
was. So it was hundreds and hundreds of long boxes of, and there was a lot of junk books too. But I picked up a lot. She picked up a lot of stuff too. But they also had toys and stuff also. So they had a toy section. So I picked up some stuff too. The toys were 50% off, and it was all loose figures. So
Mm.
I'll show that next week because there was a lot of cool stuff I picked up. So, but boxing, I always look forward to Boxing Day. Like, Boxing Day retail sucks. Like, big box retail, Walmart doesn't have really great deals. They have this and that, but like, of the Transformer stuff. But in general, like you're not getting 50% off video games or like, TVs that are worth anything. Like
Yeah.
those days are kind of long gone as a Canadian, like the good Boxing Day sales or the good Black Friday sales. But
Hmm.
Boxing Day sales, I find with small businesses or like independent people, there's a lot of great stuff. And man, there was a lot of good stuff. I I
Pricey
I
stuff.
I
Price
pro
price to move.
no joke, I probably spent $300 that day, something
Mm.
around that, like a little high 200s, low 300s when it was all said and done, because there was just so much good stuff. And I'm still sorting the comics to this like to today because there's just so much. I like it was pretty much me going like, okay, there's a lot of dollar bin stuff. Let's complete my run of Wolverine, 90s Wolverine, 80s Wolverine. So like picking those up cheaply. They'd have some 80s Transformer books. So it's like, hey, is there any key issues there that I could pick up that could be, worth money down the line in my mind? Because it was just blowout. It was a lot of good stuff there.
Right.
But how do I find those? Nothing. So Sandy was actually the one who found it.
Mm.
It was Facebook Marketplace. Someone was advertising it.
Oh, okay.
What you have to do, Marcelo, is go into Facebook Marketplace and just do searches for things that you like. And what that does is it trains the algorithm to then know what you're looking for. And then every time you open up Facebook Marketplace, it's going to show you things, even if you don't do a search for it. So, like, if I'm looking for, like, whenever I open up my Facebook Marketplace, for whatever reason, I get Marvel trading cards
Mhm.
because I always like, oh, is anyone selling like, sets of these really cheap? People don't
Yeah.
care about them anymore. So now it always suggests it to me. That and Cowboys and Moo Mesa recently, but
Jeez.
because it remembers what I like did searches of. So I guess on her end, on her Facebook algorithm, she was probably looking at comics, and
Hmm.
then they were just like, "Hey, warehouse comic sale for Boxing Day," and then
Hmm.
she's the one who found it, and was like, "Damn, like man, did we find stuff?" You know,
Nice.
she picked up. I'll say the book she picked up. She picked up Fievel Goes West, the comic adaptation, because
Oh wow.
she loves that movie. Um, she bought what else did she get? She got a lot of weird, like there's a lot of weird indie books
Mm.
that are like parody stuff. So like it's like Jurassic Park, but it was like Jurassic Lark or something.
Okay.
She got another one. It was so instead of it being RoboCop, it was
Mhm.
Lobo Cop. So it was Lobo,
Uh-huh.
but it's the RoboCop movie, but Lobo instead.
Oh,
So
so, I mean that's on brand. It's just as
yeah.
violent.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why when I saw that one, I'm like, I want to take a look at this. Yeah,
That
it's
seems on brand.
Lobo dies and then he's rebuilt as RoboCop. It's like
Mhm.
it's pretty. She likes that kind of stuff. Again,
Okay.
California Raisins was another one that she liked. What else did she get? Animaniacs, the Good Feathers, the comic series. She picked that up.
Oh,
She she
really?
get she gets the
The
weird stuff. The
the
weird
parodies.
the weird books. Like I should probably take a picture of everything she bought. Like it's all like because again, she's a girl, so what was her childhood? What does she have nostalgia for? She loves like We're Back, a dinosaur story. Like that was like
Yeah.
one of her favorite movies growing up. She loves uh it's funny, she loves all this Don Bluth stuff. It's when you think
Oh,
about
that's
it.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
she loves one of her favorite movies is Land Before Time. She loves
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
I mean,
So
before we even got Jurassic Park, we thought I remember as us as kids, we thought T-Rexes were called sharp tooths. That was,
yeah,
we didn't call them Tyrannosaurus Rex. We didn't have T-Rex. It just, oh, it's a sharp tooth. That's what it is.
sharp tooth. What was the name of it? It was Sarah was the name of the Triceratops or whatever was the that
I think
Triceratops.
so.
Marcella says, "Cool, thanks. Looking some from Brave Toy Rye stuff." Well, that's why you feed it in. And the thing is, Marcella, you're lucky. You're in Vancouver, so there's
Mm,
there's a lot of Japanese.
you're
Just
that
do
close.
yeah. You have to train the algorithm. It has to
Mm,
know what you like, and then it'll feed it to you. Like that's the problem, unfortunately. So she loves reading weird books, so she's always kind of looking for that on like her thing on Marketplace is weird toy lines that she grew up with. So she likes vintage Polly Pocket, Gem and the Holograms.
Mm.
She loves her Lego. Lego is her jam, but she loves minifigs. Um, she likes Kid Robot, Cause, like that kind of vinyl stuff, and overpriced Uniqlo clothing, which never understood Uniqlo clothing, but that's her thing.
You don't like
For
the branding,
I
whatever
I I
whatever
find
branding they
it's
got.
it's not that, it's that they'll get a really good brand, and then the
Mm,
shirt is not impressive. It'll be like,
mm.
"We got Street Fighter," and it's like, "Okay, cool, all right," and then it's just like, here on the breast pocket, a little Ryu doing a Hadouken, and then all the art's on the back. And
Yeah,
here's the thing with me, that's a
you want all
wasted
the art on the
that's
front.
that's a wasted shirt right there, you know?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if you're gonna wear it to work and you don't want it to be too loud in the front because you might have to deal with certain people.
I
Oh, hey,
guess. I guess. A
and it's
lot
on the
of
back.
a
Business
lot
in
of
the front, Daniel. Party in the back.
that's the thing. A lot of their stuff, all the art is in the back, or it's very minute. Like
Mm,
they had like a Rama one. I think they had a Rama one half one. They did a Pokemon one too, and it
yeah.
was like there was like it was just like a little thing on the breast pocket and then something in the back, and that's it. And it's a $40 shirt, and you're like,
Mm.
and to be fair, they're good quality shirts. It's not like Walmart where it's like a printed on thing that's going to disappear after 3 washes, you know.
Mhm.
So, but at the same time, it's like so expensive. So it's like to me, it's just get Symbiote Studios. Let me just see what Fern Gully. I haven't seen that forever. That movie. I don't know if
Mm,
she likes Fern Gully. She never brought up that one. That's the one that was the nature one, right?
yeah.
T Formers
Like, the joke
2002
the
with.
joke would be the joke would be that that's what Avatar is.
Oh, it's true, eh? Yeah.
That's what the joke would always be.
T Formers 2002. Would it be cool to go to still several Marvel TF Marvel run issues? I would need. It would have been a great way to spend my birthday. Shame US doesn't celebrate it. Again, like I just think like Boxing Day just makes more sense. It just does. Like
Boxing
it
Day is a UK British thing, and anybody that's underneath the um what do you call it again? The Commonwealth kind of
mm.
has Boxing Day just built in. So if you said, you know what, we don't want to be a part of you anymore, Britain, then most likely you wouldn't really have Boxing Day. That's kind of the history of it.
And again, like it's I
But
I've
but again, our Boxing Day is usually every is America's you know Black
Black
Friday.
Friday. Well, that's why and for years as a Canadian always hearing about, "Oh, Black Friday, oh, the great deals and stuff." And then we kind of like when did we co-opt Black Friday? Like only recently. Like maybe
Yeah,
like the
like in the
past.
the 2000s, maybe
Yeah. We only
2005 or
recently
so. Like,
started making that a thing.
yeah,
And
and
we
then it
didn't
wasn't really a thing. Like, it was like,
and it
oh,
wasn't
cool, and it was just like,
and
eh.
it wasn't really a thing because and I always say this joke, it's because there's so many opportunities for sales to exist that it just makes Black Friday the only one that matters because it's like, "Oh, here's Boxing Day." And then it
But
first it becomes Boxing Week, then it's
mhm,
Boxing Day, then it's Boxing Weekend, then it's Cyber Monday, then
yeah.
it's Cyber Monday 2.0, then then it's Boxing Day week, then it's Boxing Day, then it's end of year sale. So it's like you just wait until the
and
end of the year. That's when the real sale is.
and also Black Friday exists just because of American Thanksgiving.
Oh
You
yeah,
know? So you
yeah.
have your, everyone gets together for that, and then
What's up,
the
Aaron?
following the following day, you get, Black Friday, and then that's where, like, okay, this is where you should buy all your stuff for Christmas.
We got Aaron in the chat now. We got Marcelo.
Aaron.
I think I think Mark's in the chat too. I'm pretty sure I saw his name on the list. Maybe he's left since then. But we're doing the end of year, Aaron. I wanted to have you on, but it seems like you're not ready yet. So we'll uh we'll do something else in the near future. We'll have another good old Marcelo. Hey, boss. But either way, like to me, it's like I just I feel that the best sales are just during Boxing Day. Like I wait all year for like Boxing Day sales from certain stores that I go to here in Montreal, especially the comic stores. I
Mhm.
find the comic stores like Free Comic Book Day and Boxing Day are like their two best days out of the year
Right.
to like get stuff. And the deals are amazing. 50% off all loose toys or, like, toys without package. And then comic books are like, 30 to 20% off, or like, specific like rare books are 10% off. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're buying like a $200 book and it's 10% off, that's still a chunk of money.
Mhm.
So you save a little bit there. Uh, I know that when they would do their 50% off sales, like they have a glass display. One of the stores I go to, shout out to Cosmic on DeCarry. They have a glass display of always used action figures, and they always have Transformers. Like they'll have
Mm,
G2 stuff, they'll have Beast Wars, they'll have new stuff, and they'll always price it right up to what it's worth, right?
mm.
And that's fine. But then when they do 50% off on Boxing Day, now you're getting deals. All of a sudden, that complete Bruticus G2 that was like $50 Canadian
Mm.
is now 50% off. So now all of a sudden it's $25.
Right.
Hey, sign me up. I'll take those pieces I need, you know? And that's literally what I did. I needed like some pieces and parts from it. My swindle didn't have his guns, but it's just, that's what I wait for. I wait for those kind of big sales and stuff. And historically, I've never really had a good Boxing Day deal ever. I think the only time if I remember correctly, they did something a while back with like remember when PlayStation had their like, I guess we could call it their PlayStation Best of collection with the red
Oh, yeah, yeah.
packaging. I
Mhm.
think that's what it's called, or PlayStation Select or whatever it was
Greatest
called.
hits.
Greatest
Greatest
hits,
hits.
thank you.
Megatron must be stopped,
So
no
they
matter the
they did
cost.
a like that, and I remember picking up a bunch of games for 5 apiece. Like it was like,
Mm.
racing games and stuff, and that was about it. We got a question from Draco Rex. New headmaster RC when? Well, I don't know. I think sooner or later they're going to do a redeco or retool again of the missing link RC, and maybe we'll make a headmaster out of that if they don't make a new one from the ground up. At
Mm.
some point, they have to do another RC. They will. I mean, there's only so many you could do unless you visit other versions like animated or movie, but those are starting to get done. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know, Headmaster RC, they did the Hasbro, what's it called, their HasCon version, and that one, I don't know, it didn't turn out that well. They used the blur mold, which was kind of weird. So always wants a Headmaster RC. Headmaster Don was always asking for that year after year.
He finally gets it, and it's not
It's
good.
not
That's
that great.
terrible.
Yeah.
Ah,
What's the irony? I don't think he even bought it in the end. So it's like,
ah. I
what was
mean,
the
I get it. I totally
yeah,
get it. It's like, it's not
it's not what it
get her
is.
dirty.
Yeah. But so what do you got, JawzD? You had some stuff too? You wanted to show off?
Yeah. I got myself Vortex here, if you could see him.
Ah, Combaticon. How much I don't bother with full price. I know in Canada, we get screwed here in Canada with the full price. What was that? Probably like almost 40 after tax?
Yeah.
Probably.
But cool thing about it is that when you do transform it, it's like pretty smooth. There's no weird things about it. It looks like an old school helicopter and stuff like that. I got the same like vibe as the what do you call it again? No. What's it called? The Magic Square ones? So
Okay.
I have the whole set, as you can see right here, of the Magic Square Combaticons. And the Vortex looks pretty similar, and it's nice and smooth. So I'm very excited for these guys. I'm
Well,
very, very,
and
very
and,
excited.
and
I'm
they're
pumped
really
for
they're really good with the like the Fluoro Deary animation model design. They're really kind
yeah.
of loyal to that. So it's a nice attempt at it. And we've had throughout the years, we've had like helicopter combat, like going all the way back even to the Archer era, where we had like Bruticus Maximus
Mhm.
with Energon, where it's like, oh, they did some helicopter characters there and stuff. And it's like, the evolution of that, where it's like, okay, then you got the John Warden era. They're doing combaticons, they're doing combiners. Here's our version of a helicopter. It's got to be baked in to be more than one character because
Yeah.
it's got to be Vortex, but it's
Mhm.
also it's also got to be Blades from Defensor, but it's going to be Alpha Bravo, the sixth member of Superion. So it's got
Yeah.
to do all of that.
It's got to be like more than one character.
Yeah, well,
And I get it. I get it. I'm not gonna be
it's
like,
it's
but I mean, I feel like these ones are extremely close to to the models and everything, and you know what you kind of see in your head as a kid and stuff like that. So I'm very very much excited for the rest of them that are coming out. Have them on pre-order. I went out to I got them through ages 3 and up.
Okay.
That's where I went. I was like, you know what? I want to support local. Let me just go there. It
Well,
just
that
feels a lot
if
easier.
you want, like, if you're Canadian, I always say ages 3 and up, or Toy Snowman is another one too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another local guy. Also, I don't know how their prices are for Transformers. I know I bought some Japanese stuff through them, but also Toys on Fire, or
Mm.
what is it? Hold on, it's not called Toys on Fire. CMD, whatever, something
CMD
like that.
store.
CMD store, yeah, because they used to be called CMD, then they became Toys on Fire. Now they're back at CMD,
Yeah.
something like.
CMDstore.ca. Yeah.
Yeah, it stands for Mark and Dave Connection, something like that. In French, because it's
Ah.
French, because it's David Mark, so it's
Mhm.
backwards. That's what it stands for. It was the story with, for people who are familiar with CMD, because some people in the Transformer community are familiar with it because they order from there.
Mhm.
They were a comic and sports card store back in the '80s, and I remember going back there all those years ago.
And
And
they were
then
called something Connection, right?
MD
CM
Connect, MD
MD.
Connection. There you go.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And then action figures and comic books became more popular, and then it just became only action figures because all those other industries kind of folded, unfortunately. Uh, so people are asking, "Are you in Vancouver, John?" No, he's here with me in Montreal.
No, 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 no. I'm
he's in
I'm in the East Coast.
he's in Montreal with me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think who's Vancouver would be ages 3 and up, and at one
Toy
point
Dojo.
at one point Vangelis lived there.
Mm,
Now he lives in Toronto. I don't know anyone else that lives in Vancouver that people would know. Outside of obviously the Beast Wars cast, some of them still do.
right.
Um,
Other
so
stuff would you like to see?
yes, let's see some other stuff.
Oh.
Oh, very nice. So
So this is
explain to people what that is for the
so
Neo Geo lovers.
so this is from Metal Slug 2, the tank, and it actually transforms. It's a third-party toy by Kangdao model SV001. So it does transform. I am not going to transform it now. There's too much work. Cool parts. If you look at the front here, the tank. Oh no, I did not attach them. So there's supposed to be like little pistons here that come
Okay.
out. Oh, oops, oops, oops. Little pistons here that come out. So you would open it up and it would move up and down. Uh, Also, it comes with the heavy machine gun,
Oh, nice
and it clips to the back. So there's a little magnetic gimmick to it.
connection.
Um, I think in here is where the cannon is, where the head is, and you would tap it with the magnet, and it should light up. But
Oh, okay.
I've
So
definitely taken that out.
Blockies has a similar kind of system where it's like it's magnet based for lighting it
Yes,
up,
there's like a lot of toys that have that kind of
like
gimmick to
with
it.
pill batteries. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of what
exactly.
activates
And you
it.
just boop, and then it would light up.
Interesting.
So it's a really
Interesting.
cool toy. And then you have little guns here that can move.
What's up, Larry?
And then you got the. So I got this like some time ago. This is a while ago. I got that.
You
Um,
know what's interesting? Just
mm,
before you, like, there's a lot of Metal Slug stuff that's all done by third party companies now.
yeah.
Because like all the characters too, like Mio and all of them, like I'm seeing
Mhm.
like these third party, like I guess they're obviously Chinese based. They're making
Yeah.
like all the figures now and stuff. So, and I'm seeing the same thing with like Samurai Showdown and
Yeah. Yeah.
SNK characters like King of Fighters, and
Well, I
it's
know.
interesting. Fatal Fury.
What is it called again? Toy. Shoot. What's the name of that? There's Hold on a second. War Hammer 40K toys. It was toy something. There's a brand that like they do all these. They do Warhammer. They're starting to do SNK characters. They just recently put out Ninja Turtles.
Oh God.
Toy Joy. That's it.
I hate to say it. This is what we'll get into Ninja Turtles in a moment. Everyone's doing Ninja Turtles now. I
Joy Toy. Excuse me.
Joy
Joy Toy.
Toy.
That's
Okay.
the name of it. So like they do like crazy articulated, really nice looking stuff. And they started doing like I mean they've been doing Warhammer stuff for the longest time. But I saw they're doing like King of Fighters characters, and they're doing Ninja Turtles, and like they're doing kind of like not the typical, like, they kind of stylized the Ninja Turtles a little bit from
Yeah,
what I've
well,
seen.
it's how do you make it different from all the other toy companies that are doing Ninja Turtles? Like
Yeah.
NECA did Ninja Turtles, Super 7 did Ninja Turtles, and all these other companies, Todd did Turtles, and I know I'm forgetting some, Mondo did Turtles, and all these different companies that had the Turtle license at some point. And I mean, that actually goes into the news a little bit of a segue there, where
Hmm.
Playmates, the company that's been doing Ninja Turtles, is going to be losing the license after almost 40 years.
Is that's official now?
Yeah, that's what's been kicking around from pretty reputable sources and stuff.
Okay.
And I think a big reason why that's happening is and I've been trying to figure out, because I always say, like, I always like narrow my eyes and go, what's really going on?
Mm.
Like sometimes there's more to meets the eye, no pun intended, with some of those decisions. And it's like, I think what's happening is because Playmates right now has the Power Ranger license. They're doing that for Hasbro. And
Hmm.
I think that probably Playmates, along with the discussion back and forth with Vox Media and Vox, not Fox, Vox Media and Nickelodeon,
Hmm.
and they're just going like, we're just going to stick with Power Rangers. Like that's the one that makes them more money. And I was thinking about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I was lying in bed thinking about this.
Hmm.
Which was the bigger mover and shaker and took over the world brand between the two? What, like, at their time?
Hmm.
Was it Ninja Turtles during its peak, or was it Power Rangers during its peak?
Mm.
That's because I was thinking to myself, and this is how I rationalized it. I was like, okay, Turtles had a TV series that never stopped, always kept having seasons after seasons and did well. Sure, it was ups and downs and New Mutation and everything, but it always had a TV series that never stopped during its peak. It had live action movies that
Hmm.
did financially well, and it did a toy line that was like. And then the flip side of it, here's Power Rangers. It had live action movies that
Hmm.
did financially well. Power Rangers Turbo and the first one with Ivan Ooze, they actually did well. And Power Rangers was a must get toy that was hard to get. And that was where I was going, like, I think Power Rangers wins it out just a little bit, because
Hmm.
it was more difficult to get Power Ranger toys back in the day than it was Turtles. They're
I would say
I want to hear your take, because I
I
was
would say
trying to,
it
like,
depends. It depends on who's your favorite character and stuff like that.
oh
Because
yeah, of
I
course.
remember, I remember growing up, I think I liked Michelangelo the most. But of that first run of Turtles toys, I always got Leo,
Mhm.
because Leo was whatever was left on the peg, right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm assuming. People would want their Rasp, people want their
See,
Donatello, people want their
I
Michelangelo,
don't
and
ever
whenever someone
recall.
else got to it, it would be the Leo.
I don't, because I bought my first turtle toy in 1988, and
Hmm.
I don't recall it ever being difficult. Like I was there for the Power Ranger boom, 93. There was nothing. Zero. Empty pegs, maybe a Billy figure, maybe a PVC of like Bulk and Skull. Like I
I do know that I got the the Megazord, the big Megazord. Yeah, I got
Deluxe
a
Megazord, yeah.
deluxe Megazord, the big one in the in the commercial and everything breaks through the wall and all that. I got that boxed complete at Eaton's.
Eaton
And
Center,
I remember
okay.
the Eaton sticker on there. And then following year, I think, or maybe I can't remember if it was within the same year. I don't know how good I was as a kid at that time. I don't know, I was pretty good. I got the Dragon Sword with Tommy Toy, and I think that was at Zeller's,
Okay. For
right?
Americans, that's our version of Target.
And I just never got Titanus. Titanus I really couldn't find. And then when I finally saw my friends that had Titanus, I'm like, this is just a glorified platform.
But
I'm glad I didn't get it.
do you recall going to stores and seeing inventory? Because
Yes,
I would
I would.
go a
Yes,
lot to Toys. There was the one Toys R Us that was near us, and of course the Zellers that was near the mall where me and you grew up.
yeah.
And it's something where I always found that Turtles was never an issue.
Mm.
But early 93, 94 Power Rangers, when it was like at its peak, was like a nightmare. Like you just
I
couldn't get
I kind of
anything.
in the sense, I kind of felt like if you wanted to get all four turtles of of the same line, let's say,
Mhm.
you have like the original line that came out, and they had the soft heads and the hard heads. If you want
Yep,
to get that
87 to
full
88.
roster,
Yeah.
I felt like you couldn't really get all the turtles. But if you wanted to get a shredder, if you wanted to get a foot soldier, you were able to get them. I felt. So I
Yeah,
felt it depended on the character.
I
I
guess
felt.
so. I guess so. Maybe I wasn't paying attention so much to like
and
maybe
and then and then same with
the
the Power Rangers.
galactic monsters,
Yeah.
that they
And it's same with I think with the Power Rangers, when you wanted to get like, the bigger ones where they had the symbol on their chest, those would
a-
definitely be harder
the
to get.
action feature ones, yeah.
Yeah, like the big ones, and they had like the side piece and stuff. But I did felt like if you want to get the head changers, those were a little bit easier to get, or you would see them a little bit more.
The automorphers.
Um, yeah, so it just
Well,
it
that's
just
why, because
depends on which one.
that's why I wanted your take, and maybe even people in the audience, because I was like, I couldn't recall which was the bigger brand, like which was like the bigger brand, because
In
they both filled the same void. In that
mhm,
I've always made this like timeline where I'm like, okay, in like 82, 83, it was like He-Man and GI Joe, and then
mhm,
84 and 85, it's like Transformers and GI Joe, and then when you get to like 86, Joe is starting to go down. Excuse me, Joe is starting to go down. So is Transformers. And then 87, 88, boom, here's Turtles. And
yeah,
then Turtles holds that for a good chunk of years. And then around 91, 92, then the Toy Biz stuff starts to become a thing with X-Men. And then
mhm,
X-Men starts just getting a small part of the market. They're not killing it. But then 93 comes and boom, here's Power Rangers.
right.
And then Power Rangers holds like literally the audience. And again, Toy Biz is in the background with X-Men doing their thing, and there's all these other little toy lines that are also doing well. And then you get to 95 when Beast Wars debuts, but more specifically 96, 97 Beast Wars, then that explodes, and that's like the boy brand.
Right.
And again, since Aaron Archer's here, of course, Batman was in the background too, doing well.
Mhm.
Animated series was doing well, mainline Batman was doing well of whatever movie. Those were all doing well, but I'm saying, like, what was the top tier? What was the winner of each one of those? And
In
then it's and then it's like, yeah, Beast Wars 96, 97, and then 98, 99, there comes Pokemon. And
Mhm.
Pokemon just like hold my beer.
Yeah.
And then that became like the thing for everybody. And then by the time we get to the 2000s, then kids are just caring about video games, and you could argue like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh at one point, and Bakugan,
Mhm.
and Beyblade, and like everything like interchanges a little bit.
In my opinion, I kind of feel like maybe Ninja Turtles peaks out just a bit more, only because with Power Rangers, it's always Power Rangers, and then whatever words that come out after it. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna look for my like if you were coming in from Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, right? And you're going like, okay, well, where's my Black Ranger, my Pink Ranger, my Yellow Ranger, my Blue Ranger, my Red Ranger? Wait, why are their colors different? Wait, why are they swapping around colors here and there? It's not always the consistent colors, but with Ninja Turtles, you're always gonna have a one in blue bandana, red, orange,
Well, and you
purple,
did remind something to me
and
too.
the name of the series is usually similar across. Like it's always the same
And Ninja Turtles did
name.
one thing that Power Rangers didn't do. Although Power Rangers did do something similar.
Mm.
Ninja Turtles had a music tour,
Oh,
which 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 when you think about it today, like,
but that
it's
was the
like
thing to do back in the 90s.
it
That was the
because they did
style at the
they
time.
did something. They did a one shot thing for Power Rangers where they got all the actors to like they did some kind of like stage show, and I remember
Right.
it like it locked down like the highway of California or something. But they did like the coming out of your shell tour, which is such a thing of like, how do we make more money from the turtles? Like,
There
how can
was
we
that,
milk
and
this
then
more?
there was their Christmas special.
Oh gosh,
Gotta get
yes.
a gift, gotta get a gift, gotta get a gift, gotta get a gift for Splinter.
Well, that's why like
Are
it's
you are
just
you even a big thing for kids if you don't have a Christmas special where you're singing for no reason? I mean, Star Wars did it.
Yeah, Power Rangers did it. Ninja Turtles did it. Transformers technically did. Transformers was like I always felt like G1 was always on the cusp of everything that would be a trope, but never got around to it. Like G1 was too early for Nintendo. Yes, there was a Nintendo game for
Mhm.
Famicom, but it's like you look at Turtles, how it just crushed it with video games, but it came just a couple years after, and it was
Right.
just at the right time to have Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Genesis. Where if Transformers like came after, like if it also came out in 87, 88, it would have been prime time for that, you
Right.
know? People saying here, horned out with a ninja rap, of course.
Yeah, I
Never
mean, like,
never seen a
does
turtle get down.
like does Power Rangers have like they said, the ninja rap? Did they teach you how to spell turtles? Turtle power.
Well, see, both of them. See, and again, here's another thing that Ninja Turtles did that Power Rangers didn't do. Everyone remembers the cartoon All Stars
Oh
with Barbara
god,
Bush.
yeah. Oh
Like,
my goodness.
like there's certain things that like, yeah,
I thought I
I
had a
think
fever dream where all my
where
cartoon
The
heroes came
Muppet
together and told me
Babies,
not to do drugs, but it
the
was
Muppet
real.
Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Muppet Babies and who else was there? Alf. I'm trying to remember who else was in that. I think it was everyone who was like Deke Entertainment and like who
Probably.
and Fred Wolf Productions, whoever was the animation studios at the time. Telling you not to smoke marijuana. I love how they got Michelangelo to be the representative, the one guy that probably would have been
Yep.
high out of all of them.
Yeah.
There's the one dude that would have been smoking weed. It would have been drugs are bad, bro. It's like, really? You? Like, I
You
don't know about
narc.
that. I don't know about that. Yeah, I would need a modern version of the cartoon All Stars. What would that be today?
Oh
Gosh.
my
You know what would
goodness.
be terrible? Because you know what it would be like Rick and Morty.
Oh,
It would be like
are kids supposed to be
SpongeBob would
watching Rick and Morty? No, I don't
SpongeBob,
think so.
but think about it. Like if it would, because keep in mind, so here's what would happen. Some people might not agree with this then. So you have to have first has to be introduced by the president's first lady. You have to remember
Mhm.
that. So I guess it'd be Ivana Trump would be joining us. So I don't know. Some people would agree with that. I'm Canadian, so
Mm,
I don't take sides with that. But
mm.
and then she'd have to tell you about Rick and Morty and SpongeBob and whatever's popular with the kids now. That's a cartoon. If there is popular cartoons with the kids, what Adventure Time? I don't know.
I would say Amazing World of Gumball is always killing
Gumball.
it.
I was gonna say
Gumball is
Gumballs.
always did you see the
Another
more
one.
recent one?
No,
There's a clip
I'm not
everyone's
hip to
showing
that.
there's a clip everyone's showing where these two kids' moms do a fusion dance because they used to be at a dojo together back in the
Okay.
day, and they fuse together and they're fighting their kids, and the two kids do a fusion dance, and they're having this DBZ battle, like straight up. They're just like, we want to animate DBZ just for the hell of it. Okay, sure. And they're doing that. And then I think the two brothers do a fusion dance and they just mess it up completely and they look horrible. Like, they almost look like the mutant from what was it called? RoboCop. Oh, help me, man. Get
Yeah.
off me. And then it turns out some teacher that's at the school, she's more powerful than both of them. And so she like hits them and they all like defuse from each other. And they're like, oh, like Gumball is just insane a lot of the times and they just go all in.
Well, that's why it's like what would have been like, and again, all the shows that were represented in the original were more the younger demo kind of cartoons and stuff like
Yeah. I mean, Muppet Babies.
Yeah, Muppet Babies especially. Which again, actually, now I think about it, that was Marvel Productions Muppet
Yeah.
Babies. Because
So
geez,
probably
I
a
don't.
lot of Marvel
What would
production
yeah,
stuff.
what would have been? Yeah, I don't understand the logic
GI
with.
probably GI Joe.
Well, back then, if it was just Marvel, then it would have been Gem and the Hawk. But they had their own versions of like PSAs and everything. Like
No, but this
Transformers,
was like, I think because it was Barbara Bush.
it was
Like that was her. Was
it
it?
was
No,
the
no, no, no.
Dare.
Oops, 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 oops,
It
oops.
was
Not Barbara Bush. Was it Barbara Bush?
it
Or
was Barbara Bush and the Dare
was it Nancy
program.
Reagan?
No, it was
Or
Barbara
was it
Bush with the
Reagan?
Dare program. I
Oh, okay,
remember.
okay.
She's the one who opens it because I remember renting that tape as a kid and going like, "What the hell
Oh,
am
oh,
I watching?"
you didn't see it on TV? I saw it
No,
on
I
TV.
rented it. I
Oh
rented it. It
wow,
was
I saw it on TV.
so I was just like, "What is going on here?" Like, okay, it's got Raphael, it's got
Because
Michelangelo. He shows up for a hot second.
because the reason I'm probably mixing it up with Nancy Reagan was because I think she also had a anti-drug program too, and I think like she got a lot of celebrities to kind of help come out and talk about drugs and
It's
stuff. So
possible.
I think Mr. T was a part of it, Michael Jackson was a part of it. Like I think there was a few like celebrities back in that time.
Mm.
So that's why I was like,
It's
but no,
it's
you're
it's.
probably right. Probably Barbara Bush.
I recall her because Reagan by the time Reagan was out of office, that's already like, late 80s, because
Mm.
Bush came in the presidency after that and he had his 2 terms. This is a Canadian talking about American politics.
No, he had
Uh,
one term.
was it 1 term or 2? I thought it was.
Bush was a one-term
Was it
president.
only 1 term? Okay,
It
I
was
thought it
only
was
one, and
2.
because after him was
He was the
Bill
he
had
was
two.
the vice he was the vice president of
He was the vice
Reagan,
president
correct?
of
Reagan.
Reagan. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, maybe
yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. What do I know? Anyways, but yeah, either way, either way.
I got some more
Uh,
stuff if you want to
yeah,
see. I
show
don't know
some
if
more
you
stuff before we call it quits today. Let's see some more.
I've got
I got, and then we lose them. No, we're gonna have to fix all of that. JawzD, we lost you. You're gonna have to quit and come back again, brother. Hold on. There we go. Gotcha.
hey.
You're back.
Oh my goodness, not again.
I don't know what happened there.
I
Anyways, you're
don't know.
good.
All right. So I also have where's this Swordman Stray over here? One of my
Oh
desk warmers.
yeah.
Running in
Now,
the 90s over here.
if you know Initial D,
uh and I guess I
I
want to show.
regret with that thing. So they
Mm.
had at TFCon Chicago, they had a paper craft display that made the tofu shop, and
Oh
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
only 4 copies of it. And I went, I'll come back and get it. And then all 4 were sold. I
Of
was
course.
like, damn it. So I'm they have them online. I'm gonna pick one up, but I gotta get
So
it.
uh I got my new age jazz here as a desk former.
Beautiful.
So this is one of the come on. Come on. Come on.
Number 4.
Yeah. But then I also have the special operations one with the
Very good.
more decals on them.
Damn right.
And then G2.
Nice.
Got the
See,
G2 one.
seeing here he's giving me crap about Hot Rod.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you get official hot rod. I gotta go
Nah,
elsewhere.
you know what? You know what? For the longest time, that was a trademark that was impossible to get, and everything was called Rodimus forever. Mind you, everything was called Meister at one point too. So
Exactly. And then here's the see-through one. So there's still 2 more that I want to get from this line. One is probably impossible, which is the Golden Lagoon one. And then there's they call it Capoeira, but it's Stepper. So
interesting.
eventually I'll get Stepper. But
Interesting choice of name for Stepper. Interesting.
yeah, Capoeira.
Yeah.
And then I got this on sale. Williams.
That's the Lego?
Yeah, the Lego, the F1 team,
Oh wow.
Williams.
She got the Art and Senna. So the Art and Senna one was on clearance at Costco, really
Nice.
cheap. She hasn't built it yet though, because she has a backlog. Let me tell you.
I got the Art and Senna during the Amazon days. So I got
I don't know what she
I
paid for
got
that.
the
I
Art and
just remember it was
Senna,
on
and I
sale.
also got the Nigel Mansell because that's another Williams car, and my team is Williams.
Yeah.
So Williams.
Looks good though. Honestly, if I didn't know it was a Lego set, it looks like just like a really nice die cast, if anything.
No, these are the Speed Champion ones, and so you have your little Lego guy here, and they all look pretty. They have all the decals on it that you put on and everything, and they all kind of look slightly different from each other, which is pretty good. The wheels
Very,
move.
very cool. Very, very cool.
But yeah,
we got
I wouldn't be surprised if they make new ones for the new year and everything like that.
We got a super chat from Mark Morales. Hey, Proto and JawzD. Hope you guys have a good new year. What are the most anticipated for next year in terms of figures and entertainment for you?
Ooh.
What am I looking for entertainment-wise next year? When's that new Mario movie coming out? It's coming out next year? Is it
Let's
next
find
year?
out.
I'm looking forward to that because I love the first one. What else am I looking forward to? Next year they're gonna have
Galaxy
the
2026. Yep, next year.
Mega Man add-on to oh god, more super chats after that. We have the Mega Man add-on to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be next year. That's going to be in January, so I'm looking forward to that game wise. Otherwise, I've been playing a lot of old games. I've been
Mhm.
like, because I'm someone that I have such a huge backlog of stuff that's Switch One games that I'm like, I didn't buy a Switch Two just because I if I bought a Switch Two, I'd just still be playing Switch One games. That's the
Mhm.
sad thing. So I'd just be in a situation where it's like,
The
oh,
Switch 2 is in the same situation as the
the Wii U.
PS3 was
Oh,
when it
okay.
first came out, where you're like, "Hey, I bought a PS3. Where's the games? Where's the
Mm.
where's the games? Where's the games?"
Well,
So
that's
like a lot of the games that are coming, like I think there's the new Mario Kart World, and then you have was the new uh Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
well,
Those are those are like the two big games that are specifically
I'm
for
not
Switch
I'm
2.
not going to say who, but someone in the Mega Man world
Mm.
creatively, when he saw that, wait, what? We're releasing it in 2027. It's still going to be on the Switch One. I have no
Mhm.
reason to get a Switch Two then, you know? And that's
Yeah. Well, because think
2020.
about it, the install base for Switch 1 is so huge.
Of
People bought
course,
doubles.
of
People bought
course.
triples.
Well, not only that, people are saying like it's the same. Like they compare it to the Wii, where the Wii was making games literally up until like 2 years ago. You know,
Was it Just Dance? Just Dance still
yeah,
coming out for the Wii, man.
just
Just
Dance
Dance.
2024 like came out because they were like, there's still people buying this thing. You know, so it's kind of the same thing. Like because of COVID and people were buying the Wii, and that's how I got my Wii was because
Mm,
someone bought it during COVID, and then they were just like, I don't need this, and then I was like, I don't mind if I do. So, but I mean, good because and that's why I've always been late to consoles only because I always have such a backlog from what I have before. Like literally up until when I got that Wii, excuse me, that Switch,
mhm,
I was playing my 3DS.
mhm.
Like no, I was playing like a Kunio Romance of Three Kingdoms,
Oh, yeah.
port from the 3DS shop, literally up until like that point that I got the Switch One, and then I was like, okay, I might as well play some Zelda and this and that, and get, Mario Galaxy, which was incredible. Like those games are incredible, but in terms of toys that
Did you play the new, Kirby game? Like the
no,
3D
not
Kirby
yet.
game that came with the
That one
Switch?
there that's on the abandoned island kind of thing. That one, not
Yeah,
yet,
it's so
not yet.
good.
Is it
Oh,
okay?
man, it's so good. I bought it, I was, like, just burning through. I was like, "Oh, man, it's so
There's
good, it's so good."
there's still so many Switch games I haven't played yet that I want like, I know it's gonna be the same experience, but I wanna play the Mario RPG remake. Even though
Mm,
I know what to expect, and I love that game, and I've played it 100 times over, but I just kinda wanna play through it again. I wanna, like,
mhm.
play that. I wanna get some of the Dragon Quest games on there. I wanna get, what was the other one that I wanted to pick up? Pokemon Arceus. I never played it, and it's always intrigued
That's
me.
good too.
That one's good? Okay, so that's why, like
That one's really good.
so there's so many, and it's just like, and all these games I'm listing are like 40-hour games minimum, you know? And then where do I fit that in? I get 2 hours of gaming a night if I'm lucky, if I'm lucky. So it's just something where I'm so behind on that to even look at new games, and it kind of works out for me because by the time I get around to them, they're all cheap anyways. They're all on
Mhm.
sale or they're all like on clearance. And I've, you know, I think the only time I ever had a system like day one was, gosh, maybe the Wii. Not, and I wouldn't even call it day one. It was probably like a month after it came out, and it was only because I was lucky to get it. And I
Mhm.
still didn't play a lot of games on it because the PS3 had better games. In all honesty, like I was playing Street Fighter on the Wii. I wasn't playing it on. Excuse me, I was playing Street Fighter on PS3. I wasn't playing it on the Wii.
Well, I mean, the
Uh,
Wii didn't get it. The Wii, like, you would get the Wii for a bunch of different games. Like,
I
there wasn't a lot of, par
The only
games for
thing
the
I
Wii.
played on the Wii was the first party Mario titles and stuff, the first party Zelda titles, although I still played Twilight Princess on the
Cube,
GameCube because
better
that was
place to
better.
play it, sadly.
Yeah. Um, and then everything, a couple gimmicky stuff here and there, a
Mega
couple
Man?
of
Mega Man?
well, That's just
Mega
it.
Man?
Like, because I was like, okay, Mega Man 9 and 10 were on, but that could have been on any console. That could have been on.
I know you played it on Wii.
Yeah, I did play it on. I did play it on Wii though.
I remember that.
But in terms of entertainment, I don't know. Again, I'm not a big movie person. In terms of like anime, I'm looking forward to the new JoJo. I guess they showed the trailer for that.
Isn't that out already? Steel Ball
No,
Run?
they just showed the trailer for it, the teaser trailer. They just
Okay, because
showed
I
it.
thought I saw it in my Netflix, but I didn't like look at
It
it.
might have been. It might have been the trailer for it. Probably.
Mm,
That's what the Netflix thing was. Aside from that, not much in like anime. I always just kind of go, "Oh, that looks interesting." Watch 2 or 3 episodes. If it's garbage, drop it like
mhm,
like a hot mess. Not much. Not much with me, especially like. I mean, I don't want to like plug myself, but 2026 is going to be a lot of creative stuff on my end. Like I
mm,
can't like there's stuff I can't talk about, but you guys know what I'm working on. And it's just like, but the next 6 months between January and June is going to be packed, like on my social media. You'll see. And between that and a lot of stuff happening in the summer and then going into San Diego and the reveals that are going to happen there, the ball is so focused on that right now that it's like I haven't been thinking about much else,
mm.
outside of like obviously Transformer stuff because that's my obsession. So it's just there's been so much just focus on that I just haven't been really thinking about like I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. There's probably some cool movie that I'm maybe looking forward to, but I mean, I haven't watched a new Marvel movie since Endgame. Like no joke. Like no
Mm.
joke. Like I haven't seen anything since Endgame.
I don't
And
think you're
it's
missing much.
well, I that's what everyone keeps telling me, but it's like I think I watched the What If stuff. That was about it.
Mm.
Just because I love the original What If comic books, and they were okay, I guess. But I didn't watch the sequel ones.
When
Because I just don't have. Number one, I don't pay for streaming services. That's just my thing. Because
you shouldn't say that too loud. Just be
I shouldn't
careful.
say that too loud.
You should not too loud.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
Like I'm
that's
just
years from
I'm
now.
just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of them because I don't want to pay for like one show. Which is like so it's just it is what it is. But I mean, it's something where I'm not a big movie person. I'm not a big TV series person, so I don't really bother with that stuff. I pick and choose here and there of those like 1 or 2 shows that I watch, and that's it. I mean,
Mm.
actually, no, I take that back. We have one streaming service that we paid for, and it's because of her and her Korean stuff. So, yeah, let's just say
You're not.
K-pop Demon Hunter was quite popular in this household.
I think I have a few things here and there that I could
Go ahead.
name.
Yeah,
Coyote versus Acme is finally coming out next year.
I
Coyote
heard
versus
about
Acme
that.
finally coming out
Was
next
that
year.
a canceled movie or something?
Yeah, it was a completed movie. It was done, and WB was like, "Nah, let's can it so we could say it's a business, it's a tax write off." And so they
Jeez.
finally sold it to somebody else to distribute. So it's coming out, and a lot like I think John Cena's in it. There's like a lot of people in this movie, and they're like, "Yo, we put together a really awesome movie that's going to be really great," and it's really funny. It's like it's very meta in the sense of you watch all the uh, um, Coyote and Roadrunner stuff, and Coyote always buys all the Acme stuff, and the Acme stuff just keeps failing constantly, and he's like, "Yo,
So,
why
but
why does all your stuff
if they
fail?"
did it as a tax write-off and now they're releasing it, aren't they doing tax fraud? What's
No,
going
no,
on with
no.
that?
So they wrote it off, and
Okay.
then I think at some point they managed to. I think enough people complained and da da da, so they managed to sell it to somebody else to distribute.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Still,
Yeah.
that's
So
oh,
that's
that's
what ended up
weird.
happening with that
That's
movie,
so weird.
which yeah, it really stinks because, a lot of people put time and effort and a lot of work and a lot of everything into that, and that's what ends up happening.
The sad reality
Um,
of the industry. I could speak of that. A lot of
yeah.
stuff you put a time of energy into stuff and it never gets released.
So that's one. Apparently the Street Fighter movie's coming out next year.
Oh, right. That I
Yeah.
don't know about that. I'll be honest with you. I
I
look,
I mean
I
I
love
mean it's
Street Fighter to death,
I
and
mean
me,
it's
I'm
Street
it.
Fighters can't be as I mean in general Street Fighters
I
can't
understand
be.
it's campy, but it just looks like something a bunch of like high-end YouTubers could have put together. Like it gives me that vibe. It looks like like a YouTube parody account that has budget put
Mhm,
together a Street Fighter movie. Like it doesn't look like a Hollywood Street Fighter movie. Like it just what the lens, the look.
mhm.
I find like I'm a big visual person. I know people go, "Oh, but that's a great actor." Oh, but I feel that if the visual is not there that represents those characters, it kind of takes me out a little bit.
And
It really
you have to
does.
remember the stuff you're seeing now, it's not final. So
I hope
whatever
so.
extra stuff they should put in, it's not 100% there yet, you know?
I mean,
So you
look,
have
I
to
love
kinda
Cody
keep that in
Rhodes,
mind.
but he is not Guile, like
He's more of a gunlock.
yeah, Gunlock,
Like
yeah,
w when
100%
he
Gunlock
when he when he left WWE and he went indie, there's a picture of him in trunks and a bomber,
and a
and I'm, like,
bomber
looking
like
at it,
Gunlock from
and I'm
Saturday
like
Night Slam
and
Masters.
yeah, and he's got his blonde hair, his platinum blonde. I'm like, is this is is this on purpose? Because this
Yeah, he's a
no,
video
no,
game.
no.
He's a
I'm
gamer.
like, "Oh, that's not on purpose, not on purpose." And then, what was it? Devil May Cry 5 came out, and Nero's face literally looks like Cody Rhodes. I'm like, "Wait a minute.
And
What's
again, that's like
what's going on here?"
I don't know. I felt a lot of the choices of the actors and stuff just didn't click with me. And to me, it's like if you don't even get it visually, and again, this kind of stuff, and this goes into the same with superhero movies. These are visual mediums, and if you don't have the visual part of it down, it's going to make it really difficult for people to even go into the movie theater to begin with. And that's the term I use, trick them into the movie theater, get them excited about it. Let them find out that the movie is trash afterwards.
Mm.
Avatar made billions of dollars, not because it was a good movie, not because it was like some great iconic piece of fiction or anything like that. It just was really good at tricking people into theaters. Lord
The
knows
other
I was
2
tricked into it.
the other 2s came out, and I think they did pretty well as
Oh
well.
god, I didn't even know the other two came out. I thought they
Yeah,
were
I
on
think
the
I think, Shape of Water, something no, not Shape of Water, excuse me, that's another movie.
There you go. See?
Something
It
of Water came out
wow,
last year or 2
wow,
years ago, and
wow,
then the
Wendell,
newest one came out
the
now.
greatest selling movie of all time, and you can't even remember the name of the sequel. That says so much about Avatar, you know?
'Cause I'm not an Avatar fan, that's
It doesn't
all.
it doesn't matter. Let me
I
ask you,
don't care about Avatar. I'm not gonna look it up.
I've never seen the Titanic movie. I could tell you everything about that movie just because of how much it permeated in pop culture forever, you know? Like I know who the main characters are. I know the names of everybody. Just be
I can't believe he didn't cry at Titanic. What is does he even have any feelings? Cut to dude. Ah, which one? But it's real to me, damn it. It's so true.
but it's just to again going back to Street Fighter. It's like they're gonna have to like nail the visuals, but I think it's too late. It's people keep trying to make a Street Fighter movie a thing. They really just need to just stick to animation where it did it right the first, second, third, fifth time, and just do it
And
that way.
then, also, there's a Mortal Kombat 2 movie coming out too next year.
That looks like trash too. I'll be honest with you. Uh,
Well, it seems like they've moved away from the made up character they made, and then they're really focusing on everybody else that
See
everyone wants to
now
see.
again, like that first movie that they did, it nailed it on the visuals and it nailed it on the
The
music because
90s
that
movie you're talking about?
yeah, the '90s one. That
Okay.
iconic theme song didn't debut in that movie. It debuted in the soundtrack for the video game that came out, and then it was just thrown into the movie and then became associated
Really?
with that. Yeah,
No.
look it up. Yep, look it up. It was so the Immortals, which is the people who sung that song, it was on the Mortal Kombat 2 soundtrack before the movie even came out. You could buy the CD of it. Look it up. When I used to go to the arcades, you would have the order form for it that was on the whatever it was called there. The
Annihilation theme, techno theme,
yeah, it
Techno
was what was a it
Syndrome,
was a techno album
Mortal Kombat the album?
by the Immortals.
Hold on a second. Original motion picture. Okay, here we go. Do,
Well,
do,
no,
do, do,
not the
do.
original motion picture. Before that,
No, no, no,
previous.
no, no. I'm saying I'm looking at
Yeah,
the Wikipedia, support Wikipedia, the Mortal Kombat chronology of the album. So I'm looking at Mortal Kombat the album 1994. So
yeah,
there's Johnny Cage, Kano, Sub-Zero. Here we go. Techno Syndrome, Mortal Kombat,
I,
Oliver Writer Oliver Adams. So that's probably the one
Yeah.
you're talking about.
So, but that's what I'm trying to say. That was so slavishly loyal to the source material, and no surprise, up to that point, that was the first time we had a video game movie that was actually successful. You know what I mean? That was actually half decent.
Yep.
And it's
Oh,
just,
and we should give a shout out to the guy that played Shang Tsung.
oh, he
Actually, he
passed
passed
away
away.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the
Ta- uh,
villain. He was the villain in gosh, what was that movie with Dolph Lundgren? Oh my goodness. Dolph Lundgren in like some like cheesy ass uh cheesy ass kung fu movie, and he was the villain in that.
Carrie
Your soul is
Hiroyuki
mine.
Tagawa played Shang Tsung, and
Uh,
he also reprised Shang Tsung
for
in
the
Mortal
video
Kombat
games.
1, I think.
Yeah.
In the yeah.
T Formers 2002 has a question. What are you two fine gents having for dinner or had for dinner? Uh, she made chicken breast with, she always makes like this like Vietnamese style chicken breast thing with rice and everything. We had that with sweet potatoes today. I literally had it just before we went live because I knew we were going to be long. You,
I had some leftover. I went to Brit and Chips for like a very, very late birthday lunch with a best friend of mine, and I didn't have time to like finish the food, so I had the food today.
Rudy Mac says, enjoyed the podcast. Come back more often. JawzD. Well, we'll try. We
Yeah, we'll
always try.
try. Oh,
Always try.
I think there's two movies here that I'm seeing with Dolph Lundgren. So one is Bridge of Dragons, but that was
What's
in
the other one?
1999, and the other one was Showdown in Little Tokyo.
That's the one.
And
That's
that's
the
the
one
one,
that has
I
them.
think that's the one with Brandon Lee in it.
Oh, Brandon Lee's in it. See, again, I'm so bad with
Yeah,
actors. And
I
see,
think that's the one with Brandon
if a
Lee in it.
movie came out between like 1985 and 1995, that was all the stuff when I was working at the video store, the rental store that I used to have access to. Just want to make
And
sure we
they were
don't
also
miss any.
talking about video games, what we're excited for. I think there's
Oh,
supposed to be a Wolverine game is supposed to be coming out in 2026,
me
but we
again.
still
It's
haven't seen anything about it.
I've been playing a lot of the same stuff. Again, I have such a huge backlog that's just kind of like eating up all my time. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting that's going to be fun, but it's like if there's a new Pokemon game, I still got to beat all the old ones. You know,
Yeah,
there's so much other stuff I got to
I
catch
think
up on.
I'm also excited for Neo 3. That's supposed to be coming out, I think
What's
sometime
Neo
next
3?
year. It's basically like Japanese, there's a lot of yokai and stuff like that, Japanese
Okay.
demons, yokai, oni, and it's like the gameplay style is kind of Dark Souls, but it seems like in this one it's more like faster pace because you could play as a ninja and like stealth people, and then or you can fight them head on like like a normal samurai kind of thing.
Dark
Yeah.
B Mega Man Dual Override is actually gonna be 2027, so it won't be next year.
Ah, yeah, you're too.
Yeah. I will say this. This is all I can say. I was very surprised that trailer was shown this early. I like, so me and two other guys that are part of that project we were all like, wait, that was shown today, like
Mm,
now, and then we were like, oh crap, like we were scrambling to think, was this a mistake? Because it's happened in the past. I know on the Transformer side where they would pre-record live streams and
mhm.
then they would go live accidentally. And I think that's actually how people learned about Megatronus. Was it Megatronus?
Mm.
Like Age of the Primes Megatronus. Like that live stream was, no, it wasn't Megatronus. It was one of them. I remember like someone accidentally hit the live button like 2 weeks in advance, and they're like, "Oh crap, what did we do that for?"
But I
So,
kind of heard that that's kind of normal in the industry where you announce your game in advance in order to, obviously drum up stuff for us, the people that want to play it, but also to advertise to artists, developers, and so, hey, this is the game that's coming down the pike. If you want to come in and join us,
well,
this is
in
the
the
time to
end,
come in and jump
well, in
in.
the end, what you're kind of half right there. So in the end, when I asked the head up people why this decision was made so early, it was because of the boss design contest. That's
Mm,
why they needed extra time for that. Now,
yeah.
granted, the boss design contest, um, it's kind of like 50% already done, like the bones of the character.
Hmm.
You're just kind of skinning it in a lot of
Right.
ways. So like general mechanics of the boss is already done. They
Right.
just need someone to like, oh, well, how do we want to make it a clown design or whatever, you know? So I wasn't allowed to participate, but I would have loved to, you know, because it's like, because the reality is some of the winners of boss designs weren't people who were good artists. They just
Mm.
had a really good idea, you know.
Yeah.
Even
I
you
mean,
could scribble together your crayon idea, and it becomes legendary forever.
but I
That's what
mean,
I,
that's there's design and there's art, and you gotta either you meet in the middle, or if you have a really good idea, like a really good design or idea for a
really good
gameplay
idea.
mechanic,
That's
then
what the like Mega Man 6, if I remember correctly, was Quebecois, like someone from near Montreal created Nightman. And if you look at
mm,
his original drawing, it's like you would think like a 5-year-old drew it or something, you know,
right.
but it was like, oh, blue knight helmet with a mace and everything, and just
Hmm.
conveyed a good idea.
Yeah.
And then obviously Inafune and the crew at the time were just like, oh, we've never done that before. That's kind of unique. Okay,
Yeah.
we could see the game aspect of that, and that's what was kind of cool about the boss design thing is you've have like very famous mangaka, like the creators of One Piece and Naruto and stuff. They applied when they were young, and they
Hmm.
didn't win, you know.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with artistic talent. It had to do with good ideas that fit within that.
Yeah.
And obviously, the boss design contest, they also compare it to, in the grander scheme of things, of the rock paper scissors nature of Mega Man. So
Hmm.
there's like, everything has to make sense in a lot of ways. And that's why they make
Yeah.
those things. You got to have some kind of water and or fire guy. And if there's a fire guy, he'll melt the ice guy, and maybe the ice
Hmm.
guy will freeze the plant-based kind of hero, and the plant-based kind of, excuse me, robot master. And the plant-based robot master will, maybe have some kind of ability to take out some other guy that's related. It's
Yeah.
so that's the primary reason why it was announced so early, but that's why I was surprised otherwise, because I was like, man, this thing isn't going to be coming out for a while.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's, you guys will see it, but there's a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of great stuff planned in the pipeline for Mega Man in general. That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot of really great stuff happening. Dead Reckoning with the $5 super chat. Hasbro could also let Skybound take a crack at Power Rangers. Take back Power Rangers from IDW and give it to Kirkman. Well, the Power Rangers comic book uh, is with Boom Studio, and Boom had it for a long, long time. And actually, I got to admit, Boom Studios was doing a really good job with the Power Rangers comic back then, because it was very written for an older audience, and it had a lot of participation from Jason David Frank, and a lot of the actual actors kind of also like, hey, let's really like put something crazy together with Lord
Hmm.
Darkon and this like evil, and just a lot of fleshing out the backstory of Zordon and Rita Repulsa and what her background was and stuff. So Boom did a really good job of playing within that universe. IDW, I don't know. IDW, I've always had a hot and cold feeling when it comes to some of the talent that they hire, and the way that that stuff is handled when it comes to some of these IPs, because I'm going to say this real talk, and it's no secret. Hasbro was not happy with a lot of stuff that IBW was doing. They
Mm.
weren't, and they would be so unhappy that they would tell IDW, like, could you stop what you're doing, please? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem, and keep doing it, you know.
Mm.
And that's why IDW lost the license to Transformers, because they were warned multiple times, like, we're not a fan of what you guys are doing. And when you have a brand that many multiple times, unfortunately, didn't have a show on the air or didn't have a movie at the time, and the comic was the only piece of fiction floating, you got to make sure that comic's firing on all cylinders, you know. And
Mm.
that was a big mistake. Again, I look back now at IDW. There was a lot of good ideas, a lot of good single issues and stuff. But in general, I think it's going to be one of these things that people look back and it aged poorly. A lot of stuff. I know I'm seeing a lot of people now on Twitter. It always ends up in my feed where people are going back and reading the books and going, like, "Oh, I don't know about this," you know, like
Mhm.
maybe this. So, but it is what it is. Whatever, you know, like.
Mm.
But I hope that Robert Kirkman and the crew use their leverage and use their audience that already pre-exists with Invincible and Walking Dead and stuff, and get those people to go, well, if Mr. Kirkman did this stuff and I liked it, maybe I'll check out these robots that transform into thingamajiggies, you
Mhm.
know, and I hope that that leads to it. The comics are good currently, so I enjoy that. The current stuff that we had from issue 1 up until I've read up until issue 25. I just have been falling behind, but I look at that and go, well, that's really good. So if they adapt that loyally, and I've seen how they've adapted the Invincible comics, and those have been adapted loyally. So if
Mhm.
that same vibe is there, I haven't watched Walking Dead, so I can't speak for that. But um, it's something where if that's kept loyal and the animation quality is of high budget, and then Hasbro, if they're a smart company, will do a good synergy with the product. Okay, so we're going to have this show up on Netflix or Amazon Video or whatever. We got to make sure that product is on the shelf that mirrors that at the same time, because you'd be an idiot if you don't. Here's a free one, Hasbro. Stop making fiction that doesn't have product on the shelf.
Mhm.
You killed bots. Like, what are you doing? You know, you get a free one there. One of your slickster, marketing or office guys could just steal my idea and get all the praise and the raises. But whatever, like, make sure that the product is on the shelf that matches what's on the streaming service. That way, you build a new audience, because you're going to get a person that's going to watch this on a Sunday and then go, wow, that was really cool. I like Skybound, Energon Universe, Transformers, Robert Kirkman, whatever you want to call it. And then, and then on Monday, they're going to go to work, and then they're going to swing by Walmart and they're going to see the new product. And then they're going to make an impulse purchase, because so many Thanos figures were sold right after that movie Infinity War came
Mhm.
out. So many, and I experienced this myself going to conventions after that first Wonder Woman movie came out. The
Mhm.
amount of fever of people wanting Wonder Woman product, and you need to match that fever. Look what happened with The Mandalorian, where they didn't know that Baby Yoda was going to be a thing, and they weren't able to meet that demand in time. But what happened was is Temu and AliExpress and all the bootleg companies filled that demand because they were able
Right.
to turn around fake stuff quickly. And because they were able to do that quickly, they got all the money that by the time Grogu Baby Yoda became actual physical official product, people moved on.
Mhm.
So you have to time that stuff. You got to time it. Marcelo says here, as a guy growing up with cartoons more than comics, I think they're doing a great job with the Energon universe. Well, again, Marcelo, I really hope that they just adapt it properly, and that if it's adapted properly and we get this new set of eyeballs, that we get people that are interested in the plastic crack like that. Because let's be real, at the end of the day, we're trying to sell toys. That's what we are. That's
I
what
don't
it,
have a problem. You have the problem. I
yeah,
don't have the
well,
problem.
look behind me,
I
Wendell.
don't have the problem.
Look behind me. The never ending, like, people don't realize how far this wall goes, like, people have to understand this is a business of selling toys, but you can't sell the toys unless you get them excited about it. And like, what made me infuriated with BotBots was BotBots comes out on Netflix, which they dropped it all in one shot, which I'm not a fan of, but they drop it on, and then if any kid was like, I think BotBots are cool. Wow, let's go and buy BotBots. Zero on the shelves, because they missed that. Like, the toys came out and then they were gone from the shelves, no distribution. Oh, wow, I want BurgerBot. BurgerBot's the main character of BotBots. Wouldn't it be great to get BurgerBot? Gee, how much does BurgerBot go for on eBay when Bot? Oh, $30. It's
Oh,
like, just for that little thing I'm holding. I I don't want to
Mm.
I don't want to
Yeah,
use
yeah.
words that are gonna get me
You're
flagged.
ranting again.
Yeah, yeah. I
Bring
mean,
it back.
it's
Reel
just
it back. Reel it back.
yeah.
Reel it back.
It bothers me when that kind of stuff happens, because these people are
Oh, Pops is gone, man.
professionals that are paid large sums of money out of their slickster college that they went to, and they're not answering the most simple of solutions,
Mm.
Marcelo, the way they are using the reverse engineering explains the technology. Well, I hope so. uh Dead Reckoning with the $5 super chat. There's a lot of toy lines from Hasbro and Kenner that are part of the new Energon universe and the morphing grid, and add the morphing grid. Holy shit. Well, I mean, let's just see what they do. I mean, GI Joe is needs a lot of help. Joe is I again, I love GI Joe to death. I love Joe. I buy comics. I love Dusty. I always buy a new Dusty figure. But GI Joe is a brand that is barely keeping its nose above water from the adult fans. If it wasn't for adult collectors, GI Joe would be dead. It would be dead. There is not a person under the age of 30 that's buying GI Joe product. I will stand by that. Like it's just not there. And I understand The Rock is in a different place now in terms of public perception, but I've always said back then, if you do a movie with The Rock and it doesn't do well back then, something's wrong with your brand. You know, it's not you, it's the brand.
He's the guy you tag in to bring life back to
If
your
people
your
are going to
franchise.
watch Rampage and Jumanji, and yet they're not going to see
Third one's
GI
coming
Joe,
out.
well,
Third Jumanji's coming out.
but if you ask me, like, which is the bigger IP, Jumanji, Rampage, or GI Joe, I'd say GI Joe. But which
Yeah.
are the one? But no one wanted to see those movies, and it goes into the Snake Eyes movie too. No one wanted to see that either.
It was
And
ninjas, Daniel. They
well, if
had ninjas, and no one wanted to see
no
them.
one wanted to see ninjas, and I hate it when people tell me, "Oh, the movie wasn't good or wasn't accurate to the source material." You only know that because you went to see the movie. Once again, this goes to what I said before. You have to trick them into the theater. If you don't trick them into the theater, it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad anyways. There are so many
But it
crappy
felt
movies that made billions of dollars because they were good at tricking people into theaters.
but I feel like they were trying to trick people. And their trick was, hey, we got The Rock. Oh, and we have the quote unquote original G.I. Joe, which was Bruce Willis.
Mm.
And that was their and then we got a bunch of ninjas.
And
And
that falls back into what I said.
it still didn't really
That's when it was like when when The Rock couldn't even bring people in the theaters, that's your brand now. No one cared. No one wanted to see it. The reason why Transformers did well was because there were so many people that were curious. How would
Mm.
this work? How would this even work? So I think that a lot of people went to see that movie just out of curiosity. Not even that they were fans of Transformers. They're just like, how is this going to even happen? And the trailers were very good at not showing much because there really wasn't at the time. There was like, I think everything that we saw of robot footage were shown in the trailers anyways.
Mm.
So like that whole Bone Crusher scene was like a
and
million.
and also with G.I. Joe, I kind of find if you want a G.I. Joe movie, then you would go to the Fast and Furious franchise because that's what they kind of are right now.
Of course. Well, if like I said,
They're just
if you're under 30 and you want military, you've already been playing Call of Duty and Fortnite. You know, you've already been playing what's it called there? Counter Strike. Like
mm,
anyone who was a gamer already got their military fix through that. And then there's the tabletop guys, they get their military fix through that. Like they don't, you know, it's when you understand why kids were buying GI Joes and watching the cartoon and how they get that fix now because of, you know, digital stuff and video games. You got to figure out a way to reinvent that. I've felt for years that GI Joe's only chance is to find their way into these 3D shooters. That's the only way. And then become relevant from that. In the way that look at Marvel Rivals right now and
mm,
how no one gives a shit right now about Marvel movies, but Marvel Rivals is keeping Marvel relevant in pop culture right now because
yeah.
people are playing those games. And then oh my god, I really like using Emma Frost. Maybe I'll buy an Emma Frost figure. Oh, Hasbro just made a sale inadvertently without even
And then I
knowing it.
think also with Marvel Rivals, you got X-Men, you got Marvel characters, you got
You got everything.
Avengers characters, and you got them both already in
You
there.
got
Like
people
there's
caring
no
about a cute little shark. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I like the
it's
little shark.
but that's what I'm trying to say. It's that you have to look at what that medium is that's working right now with a younger gen and then lean on that because that's going to be your customer for the next 20 to 30 years. You don't foster that, I'm not the future. I'm not. 20,
Mhm.
30 years from now, this head is going to be completely bald, okay? And going to be grayed over, wrinkled, and surviving off of my 401k retirement to barely buy anything because by then deluxes will be $400, you know? So
Come on,
yeah.
be more realistic, $80.
Okay, $300 for a deluxe, but
Beautiful.
you know, like it's just like it. I'm not going to be
Back
the
in my
audience
day,
any.
deluxes used to be $20.
I'm not going to be the audience anymore, and so they better have fostered a new audience to fill that void, and it
Yeah.
better be like 20 years from now. I want to hear about that kid going, "Oh, I got into Transformers because of that next gen platforming game that made me want to own action figures of it." I'm reminded of Angry Birds. I'm reminded of what's it called there? Among Us, where these
Mhm.
games that were cell phone games did so well that they were able to sell merchandise of them. When Among Us was huge, there was tons of Among Us
Oh, what
merchandise
was
out
that
there.
other one? Five Nights at Freddy's, the second
Five
movie
Nights at
just
Freddy's. Look, there's movies,
the second
you
movie
know,
just came out
there's
recently.
movies again because you win them at that. Look at Minecraft,
Mhm.
goodness.
Chicken jockey. I just say
But
the word, everyone freaks
that's what
out.
I'm trying to say. Like you have to get them at that medium, and you can't think like you're gonna just somehow put out another toy movie, and people are gonna turn up when they don't even care about the brand. Like
Mm.
Transformers One was an absolutely fantastic movie, and nobody showed up, zero, and that is heartbreaking
Yeah.
because it shows that. And what does that tell the suits at Hasbro? All it
Mm.
tells them is, "Oh, look, we gave them what they wanted and no one showed up. All right, back to square one, guys." No,
Yeah.
it's just because the brand has a problem right now. There
Mm.
is not because they might think, okay, 2027, we'll bring back Michael Bay, we'll bring back all the old actors, we'll bring back Shia, and we'll get Megan Fox, and we'll get Josh Duhamel and Tyrese. We'll bring everyone back. But here's the thing: yeah, you could try to do the nostalgia bomb and all that kind of stuff, but if nobody cares, then nobody cares. Doesn't
Mm.
matter what you do. Look what they're doing now with this Doomsday movie with Marvel. They're trying to bring back everybody. If this Doomsday movie comes out and it bombs, then that will tell you what would happen if Transformers tried to repeat that formula. If no one's going to show up because of all these X-Men
Steve
actors
Rogers
and
is back.
yeah, and if nobody shows up, then we got a problem. Then we
Mm.
got a big problem because then there's nothing that Transformers could do that you have to completely reinvent that brand from again another medium. You got to
Mm.
go elsewhere. But I'm ranting. Anyways, guys, we went 40 something minutes over our plan, but either way, you guys got some extra. Anyways, guys, thank you for all the love and support throughout the years. This is our last stream of 2025, our end of year. Thank you, Marcelo, for showing up. Thank you, Aaron Archer, who's in the background, probably drawing, showing up. Mark's in the chat. He's just quiet too. Like, thanks everyone who showed up, all the other patrons, YouTube members who support the podcast with Patreon and everything. You guys are always amazing. Thank you, Fonhart, for the gifts and all the craziness from the P.O. Box. I have still more P.O. Box stuff I have to cover. We'll probably do that next week in 2026. One of the reasons why we're doing the live stream today is because I'm going to be doing stuff all the other days and everything. So I don't know if JawzD stuff and JawzD has stuff that's going to conflict.
Mm.
Yeah, got to get everything to line up properly. But thank you for all the love and support, everybody. Thank you, JawzD, for showing up once again and rocking out
I'm
with
always here,
us.
man.
He's always
You
here.
put up you put up the bat signal, I'll be here. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah. So once again, guys, we'll see you probably next time. Next week, we'll try to get some segments out during the holiday season of New Year's and stuff. I'll see how everything balances out and everything. I got a ton of comic books I got to sort upstairs. I got like 200 comic books I got to sort.
Jesus, another
Uh,
big mess up there, isn't it?
oh, it's that
Yeah.
living room is effed. You know. That's why when people sometimes they see the living room, I'll do a live stream from the living room. They get to see the couch, and it's just like, here's all the craziness.
Daniel, where can I stay? Get on the floor. Just move the stuff to the side.
Move the stuff. Well,
There's
I
space in the kitchen.
the the guest room, which I've dubbed like the guest room is slowly transformed into the TCG room now. So it's like you can sleep around magic cards now. It's like wake up, you wake up, you have like a nightmare Black Lotus attached to your face. You're like, what the hell? Yeah. Anyways, take care, everyone. Thanks for all the love and support. We'll talk to you in the near future. And as always, let me grab the right thing here.
Yeah.
Roll out.